The time is now. It's now time for International Falls Broncos fall sports action. From the gridiron to the volleyball court to the swimming pool, your International Falls Broncos are gearing up and ready to go this 2025-2026 season. Thank you to all the sponsors of the International Falls Broncos fall sports. And now it's time to get to the action. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is now time because we are here live on Lakes Country 104.1 KSTM and on yourliveevent.com. It's some varsity volleyball action between the International Falls Broncos and the Mesabi East Giants. It's awesome, epic, amazing volleyball action here tonight, being brought to you guys here live on Lakes Country 104.1 KSTM and on yourliveevent.com. It is a very special mental health awareness night. As you guys can see, there are a lot of green t-shirts being worn by players and coaches on both sides, and that is because, like I said, it is Mental Health Awareness Month here for tonight's game. So the Northland Counseling Center is joining us here tonight. They have their own table where they have pamphlets talking about mental health awareness and the importances of it, and the number 988, which is the new official, well, it's been new. It's been a couple years now, July 2023, where it was established as the official hotline number for the suicide hotline and other resources for mental health crises and and everything else related to it. And it is very important to keep those awareness of mental health and the people who are dealing with it as well, because it is also National Suicide Prevention Month for the month of September. And so really excited to be celebrating and bringing awareness to this. This is a very important cause. It's something that I hold very dear as well. And it is going to be a really great varsity volleyball action. And so we're going to take a quick break, listen to some of our sponsors, and get ready because I have a couple of coaches' interviews for you guys here on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM and on YourLiveEvent.com.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Hi, this is Rob from Falls Lumber Company. I'm new to the company, though not to the industry. If you're looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, stop in and see me in the Design Center. I can help you pick out the perfect cabinets or countertops from brands such as Crystal Cabinets, Cambria, Corian, and Silestone. If you're in need of flooring, we have options including luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, engineered hardwood, and tile. Stop into the Design Center to see me anytime. When you're looking to build or remodel, come to the experts at Falls Lumber Company, 201 4th Street in International Falls.
Employees at Packaging Corporation of America have been producing quality paper for over a century. We understand our responsibility to the community, and we're honored to support the many needs and events occurring in the borderland. From providing donations to local schools and events, to supporting organizations meeting physical needs in our community, Packaging Corporation of America does more than make paper. We make a difference.
The unique strengths of Rainy River lie in the fact that you're going to be supported by faculty and staff, and you're going to be supported by the community.
You know, all the professors by name, they all know you by name. We're not just a number, like we actually have a face to the name, which is honestly pretty good. I like it. I'm known, everybody else is known in the school. It makes it feel more comfortable to be here, especially being so far away from home.
Here with head coach Aaron Hall, and getting ready for a pretty big week of volleyball. You guys are going to be busy at home for homecoming week. 3 big home games, and starting off with today, though, going to be defending the home court against Mesabi East. And so, what's the plan for today?
Our plan is to get out there and play better. So we would like to step up our game a little bit. It's always our goal to eliminate some errors. They're going to have some big hitters, so we're going to have to block.
Yeah, absolutely. And so I'm guessing depending on Chesley Scrine and a lot of your other front row players make that happen?
Yeah, we're definitely going to be focusing on where they're at, especially on serve receive, where they're going to be coming at us, attacking, and just dial it in. Hopefully we can slow them down a little bit at the net.
Yeah, and it looks like you got Peyton Grasshorn back in the lineup, but still missing Peyton Russo. And so how does that adjust the rotations?
Well, we'll pretty much just go back to our rotation that we had been using prior to Peyton Grasshorn being gone. She just missed the one game, so I think she's feeling better today, so that's good. Peyton Russo is out and will be out. Did we talk about that? I don't remember. She dislocated her elbow, so that's a pretty serious injury, so we'll see where her recovery time is.
And so in the spirit of, the theme for today, the spike stigma and bring in mental health awareness, what is the importance of mental health awareness to you?
Well, I mean, I think it's a huge issue. I think it's important to, have everyone be aware of it with athletes too. But yeah, it's everyone we encounter, I feel like, is dealing with a little something that we all likely don't know about. So I just feel like it's important to know what your options are as far as reaching out or getting help. And you just never know when you might need that. So I'm happy we can participate in this event.
Absolutely. And especially with volleyball being a very mental game, it fits well with it.
Yeah, no, volleyball is a very up and down, emotional roller coaster is what we like to call it.
Yeah, and one thing I have noticed with a lot of your games is, while sometimes it's not always the result you want, you guys are having really close, really scrappy games. And so what's it going to take to get that push that gets you that win and more wins after that?
Just consistency is going to be key for us. I mean, you can make all the great plays you want, but you get the ball back and you go to the service line and you serve it in the net, then you kind of lose a little bit of that momentum. And it's just little things like that. I would like to see us sharpen up. And then, yeah, we just got to play volleyball. There's no secret.
No secret at all. And something I just now noticed, but last night was the Falcons and the Vikings, and it was purple and gold versus black and red. I'm noticing a pattern for today, and so hoping to avenge the Vikings' loss last night.
Oh, well, I mean, we'll do what we can.
Well, I wish you the best of luck and thank you for your time always.
All right, thank you.
As you guys know, Aaron Hall, a very, very humble leader for your team, and I just thought it was a really funny coincidence that back-to-back nights of purple and gold facing off against black and red. I actually got to go to that game with my coworker Ed Gakeley, and it was a lot of fun. But enough about me and enough about football. We're here for volleyball, and so let's get into our starting lineups for today for the Inertia Falls Broncos. They have number 2, Neva Kokish. Number 4, Peyton Grassone, coming back from an injury. She was gone in their last game, against Rock Ridge, and now she is back in the lineup. I guess they were waiting on Tim Ringhofer, the athletic director for Inertia Falls, who is going to be announcing the starting lineups. Where was I? Yes, Peyton Grasshorn, back from injury. Number 5, Cami Cronin. Number 9, Lauren Basaraba. Number 16, Charlie Swanson. Number 21, Chesney Scrine. And number 10, the libero for the Broncos, Mara Buller. The team also consists of number 13, Hadley Whitbeck. Number 18, Cameron Rasmussen. Number 19, Morgan DeMars. And number 20, Eliana Koenig. That is your Inertia Falls Broncos starting lineup. Coming up is our national anthem, brought to you by local VFW, Post 294A. We'll be back after the break for my interview with head coach Hinderman of Mesabi East.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Hi, this is Rob from Falls Lumber Company. I'm new to the company, though not to the industry. If you're looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, stop in and see me in the Design Center. I can help you pick out the perfect cabinets or countertops from brands such as Crystal Cabinets, Cambria, Corian, and Silestone. If you're in need of flooring, we have options including luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, engineered hardwood, and tile. Stop into the Design Center to see me anytime. When you're looking to build or remodel, come to the experts at Falls Lumber Company, 201 4th Street in International Falls.
I'm here with head coach Cheryl Hinderman of the Mesabi East Giants volleyball team, getting ready for today's upcoming away game against the International Falls Broncos. And so, what have you guys been working on getting ready for today's game?
We've been working on a lot of our passing, and then a lot of just getting the ball up to get some good hits going. We've been struggling with that this year with our passes, so our last couple practices have been a lot of passing drills.
So, who have been some of the key leaders that you hoping are going to really help set the tone for today?
Tatiana and Marta and Finley are some of our very strong players that we'll have going forward tonight.
Yeah. And your libero of Faith Manu, who a freshman libero too, and so I'm guessing she's been doing a great job just taking her chance her freshman year of getting those starts.
Yes, she's been doing great for us. She's quick on her feet. She has a great pass, and she can get to just about any ball. So she's been a great asset to have.
And so it is Stick It to Stigma night, and so a little off topic from volleyball, but what do you think is the importance of having the mental health awareness?
Well, that even just goes right back to volleyball. Volleyball is such a mental health game, and it's in everybody's heads. We talk about it at every practice and game, the staying out of your head. So having that awareness tonight is just an amazing thing, and I think everybody in the stands is going to love it.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for your time, and best of luck today.
Thank you so much.
Again, that was my interview with head coach Hinderman of the Mesabi East Giants, and their starting lineup for today: number 6, Tatiana Baker-Lehman; number 7, Finley Osama; number 12, Reese Heikela; number 15, Molly House; number 16, Marta Forsling; number 17, Eliza Pizy; and the libero number 18, Faith Manu. And then other members of the roster is number 1, Lacey Carlson; number 5, Katie House; number 10, Addison Sampson; number 13, Mika Honkala. I gotta make sure I get that right. I apologize in advance if I do mess that up. The K is always what messes me up from previous games. Number 14, Lainey Rost, and number 8, Olivia Sular. And so that is your Mesabi East roster and starting lineups. We're just about ready to be underway here today as they are announcing. Another special shout out to local VFW Post 2948, who is our our national anthem sponsor. So join them for Burger Night and karaoke. Other sponsors for tonight's game, such as Service Master of International Falls for home professionally cleaned all year round. Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd and Gretchen are going to take great care of you, and they sponsor every single timeout throughout the game. And your press box sponsor, we are live here from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box. Start your voyage at the Rainy River campus. Your future awaits you right here in your own backyard. Rainy River, Minnesota North College, 218-598-9300. And we have our post-game sponsorships, of course. We have our Domino's Pizza Player of the Game and the Enbridge Energy Player of the Game, the player who has the most exciting and energetic play of the game. And the Enbridge Player of the Game gets a cool Enbridge t-shirt, and the Domino's Pizza Player of the Game, of course, gets a Domino's Pizza from our local Domino's here in International Falls. And of course, throughout the contest, every scoreboard update is brought to you by Packaging Corporation of America. Thank you guys to all our sponsors. So let's get into some volleyball action here. Again, it is Mental Health Awareness Night for today's game. It is Spike Stigma. Excuse me. I know I said Stick It to Stigma. I was thinking hockey season, but that is the hockey variant of this Mental Health Awareness Night is Spike Stigma. And so Mesabi East will serve first in today's contest. Mara Bowler, the Bronco libero in the yellow jersey with the white bottom half of the sleeves. Broncos, of course, going left to right in the purple. Mesabi East in the all black with red stripes going right to left. Serving is number 7, Finley Osama. And we are away. Grasshorn over to Swanson. And then Chesney Skrine gets the first point of the night. Chesney Skrine setting the tone for the Broncos with a kill. The score is going to be 1-0. Broncos take an early lead here. They're going to have number 9, Lauren Basaraba, serve for the Broncos. Again, 1-0 on the PCA scoreboard. I got to make sure I'm also keeping up with the score on yourliveevent.com. Shout out to those of you watching on the video live stream. That goes out of bounds. That's another Bronco point, making it now 2-0 on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos getting an early lead, trying to ride an early wave of momentum against Mesabi East. Lauren Basaraba serving once more. She sends it to the back row, received by Molly House, and 2 hits, and that's Tatiana Baker-Lehman able to send it over. And number 16, Marta Forsling, the tall front row player, probably 6'5", maybe 6'7", who knows. But she was able to get a nice block and keep it on the Broncos side of the net after a 50-50 ball. And she's probably going to be a big factor with those blocks. She is a very tall player. I probably should have looked and see how tall she is. That was Tatiana Baker-Lehman serving for the Giants. Broncos send it over. That's going to go over the back line, so that's going to be a point for Mesabi East. They tie it up immediately. 2-2 on the PCA scoreboard. Tatiana Baker-Lehman serves it. Chesney Scrine with the receive. Swanson over to Grasshorn, and that's blocked. And you guessed it, it's Marta Forsling with another block. That is 2 already. And Mesabi East takes the lead on the PCA scoreboard, 3-2 over the Broncos here early in set number 1. Tatiana Baker-Lehman going for a huge running start and then jump serve. Swanson over to Grasshorn, another setup. She's able to get it over Forsling. Forsling gonna get a chance. She's gonna knock it over the back line, but they're gonna give the point to the Giants, saying that a Bronco tipped it before it went out of bounds. So that's gonna be another point for Mesabi East and a kill for Marta Forsling. So far, she's been the biggest. She's been a consistent playmaker early for the Giants. 4-2 on the PCA scoreboard. Tatiana with the serve. Swanson sets it up. This is Chesney Scrine with a kill, and that's going to be inbounds back corner. Bullseye for Chesney Scrine. So 4-3 now. Quick substitution. Number 5 for the Broncos, Cami Cronin comes in. Number 13 for the Giants comes in. That's, got to go to my other sheet. Mika Honkala. Served by Chesney Scrine. Sliding dig by Heikala. Giants able to get it over. Sliding dig by Lauren Bastrapa. Miscommunication. Weren't sure who was the one to get the bump, and that leads to a point for Mesabi East. It is now 5-3. Mesabi East lead. Quick substitution coming out of the game. Number 17, Eliza Pizy. Coming into the game is number 14, Lainey Rost to serve. Marble are subbed back into the game for the Broncos. Swanson sets it up. This is going to go to number 2, Neva Kokesh, who gets the kill, and Broncos answer right back. So it is a 6-3 game. Excuse me. It should be 5-4. Broncos down by 1 point on the PCA scoreboard. They're going to send Peyton Grasshorn back behind the line to serve for International Falls. Grasshorn returning. She was injured. And that's going to be an ace. So her first serve of the game back in action. And Peyton Grasshorn gets ace for the Broncos. That ties the score up 5-all now on the PCA scoreboard. So Grasshorn with another serve. That's a 50-50 ball. And Neva Kokesh gets a hand on it, and that's going to be another point for the Broncos. So now it is a 6-5 lead on the PCA scoreboard. Grasshorn serving once more. Neva Kokesh getting the point for the Broncos. And that's going to be a possible ace, unless great move there by the libero Faith Manu, who was able to keep it in play and keep the Giants out of an ace. And Kokesh's attempt at a kill is going to get off the net. That's going to be a point for Mesabi East. We are tied once again, 6-all on the PCA scoreboard. Back to serve the libero Faith Manu for Mesabi East. He sends it to the back row. Lauren Bastrapa with the receive. And great play, diving. Grasshorn keeps it in play and allows for number 18, Rasmussen, to keep it in play. Dive by Grasshorn, unable to keep it in play. That's going to be a point for Mesabi East, making it now a 7-6 game, 6-7 game on the PCA scoreboard. So now Rasmussen with the kill, received by Faith Manu. Now that's going to be number 13 for the Giants, Mika Honkala, trying to go for the kill. She sends it over the back line, so now it's tied 7-all. Neva Kokesh goes back to serve for the Broncos. Trying to get a lead here early in set number 1. set up for number 5, Katie House, and somehow bounced out the top of the net, went over and stayed to the Broncos side, and they weren't able to react in time. That leads to a point for Mesabi East. Quick substitutions coming into the game. Number 15, Molly House, and number 6, Tatiana Baker-Lehman. Molly House to serve for Mesabi East. She sends it. That's off of Mara Buller. Broncos for a second almost worried about that one. Kokesh with the receive after the kill by number 12, Reese Heikela. Broncos send it back over. Now they're going to set it up. This time it's Tatiana Baker-Lehman. She thought about running for it. Mara Buller diving and keeping it in play. Broncos now just going to have to bump it back over. Can't set up a play. Here's another setup for Mesabi East. That's number 7, Finley Osma. And Broncos once again keep it in play. It keeps going. We're still going back and forth. Tatiana Baker-Lehman sends it back to the Broncos. Now it's going to be Lauren Basaraba. Fakes out the Mesabi East Giants. Made it look like she was about to go for the set and then just hit it over and got the point. Lauren Basaraba making plays and using a high IQ. I bet you she's a straight A student with an IQ like that. Cami Cronin with the serve for the Broncos. Sets it up. That's Heikela with the point hit over. No point for Mesabi East. Chesney Scrine blocked, but it goes out of bounds. So that's a Bronco point for Chesney Scrine of International Falls. She already has 1 ace and 1 kill today. It is now a 9-8 game back and forth between the two teams. Neither one really able to get any kind of actual momentum. Quick talk at the front table from the looks of it, and now Cami Cronin gets ready for another serve here in set number 1. 9-8 on the PCA scoreboard. The set goes to Finley Osama, received by Grasshorn. Chesney Scrine sets up. This is going to be number 9, Basaraba. Broncos, so despite being blocked, able to bump it back over. Rasmussen avoids the net foul. Kokesh over to Grasshorn, sets it up for Scrine. Scrine unable to. It went a little too far over the net. So Scrine now she sets it up for Basaraba, but that goes too far outside, and that's going to be a point for Mesabi East after it goes out of bounds. Substitution, number 17, Eliza Pisey comes into the game for Mesabi East, subbing in for number 14, Lainey Rost. The Broncos sub in their libero, Mara Buller. Serving is number 12, Reese Heikela, received by Kokesh. Grasshorn sets it up. That's Rasmussen. Off the blocker, off the head of the libero, Faith Manu, and that's a point for International Falls. So now tied game here, 10-all on the PCA scoreboard. Lauren Basaraba, able to get the point for International Falls. And they sub in number 16, Charlie Swanson, to serve. She sends it to the back row. That's received by Mesabi East, and that's going to be an ace for number 16 of the Broncos, Charlie Swanson. They now have a 11-10 lead on the PCA scoreboard. Tight game between these two teams. I'm wondering if we're going to see this throughout the entirety of the game. Swanson with another serve, received by Faith Manu, hit off the top of the ceiling, and leads to another ace for number 16, Charlie Swanson. So now Swanson getting a rhythm from behind the line. They have a 12-10 lead on the PCA scoreboard. Her serve, beeline straight to number 15, Molly House. They set it up. That's Asama, who hits it over the back line, out of bounds, and another point for the Broncos. And Charlie Swanson on fire with her serving today. 12, so it's, I'm a little confused here. They changed it because now it says 12-9, so I don't know if I missed something, but that serve by Swanson goes out of bounds. That's going to be a point for Mesabi East. So I feel like I'm certain about my numbers, but then I keep seeing the scoreboard changing and it's throwing me off. That goes out of bounds. Served by Finley Osma, no good. So Broncos get the point, now 13-10 on the PCA scoreboard. It's Lauren Basaraba back to serve for International Falls. Basaraba has 1 kill in today's game. Dive by number 12, Reese Heikela, accidentally sends it into the stands. I think she heard me commentating. She's like, man, I don't like the sound of this guy's voice, so she tried to send it my way. Thank you for not hitting me, though. Lauren Basaraba, her serve, too much power. That goes out of bounds, and that's going to be a point for Mesabi East. So the Giants now down by 3, 14-11. Subbing into the game is number 5, Katie House. She comes into the game for number 15, Molly House. So trade one house for another. That's just And that's a point for the Broncos. That looked like a close call there, but they said it was out of bounds. So Tatiana Baker unable to get the point. I totally thought that was in bounds, but they called it out. So now 15-11, Chesney Skrine serves for the Broncos. This is going to be Eliza Pisey over to number 16, Marta Forsleen. And Broncos unable to set up a play, so Chesney Skrine sends it over. Now this is going to be set up for number 5, Katie House. And Broncos knock it out of bounds. That's going to be a point for Mesabi East. 15-12, a 3-point lead for International Falls. They sub in Charlie Swanson. She comes into the game for Chesney Skrine. Also being subbed into the game is number 14, Lainey Rost for the Giants. She's going to go back to serve. 15-12 on the PSA scoreboard. Mara Buller with the receive. Swanson over to Grasshorn. That's a dive by number, 15. And I think we're going to get a point for the Broncos because they say a net foul against Mesabi East, so Broncos get it right back. That was number 13, by the way, who had the receive. Mika Honkala. 16-12 on the PSA scoreboard. Quick substitution coming into the game is number 5, Kami Cronin. Out of the game, Charlie Swanson served by Grasshorn. Goes out of bounds. That goes right back to Mesabi East. Still a 3-point lead for the Broncos. 16-13 on the PSA scoreboard. Mesabi East sends Faith Manu to the back line to serve. And also subbing out number 16, Marta Forsleen. Serve to Bowler. Grasshorn sets it out. This is going to go to Cronin, who tries to just lob it over. That's received by number 14, Lainey Rost. And Mesabi East unable to get it back over the net in 3 hits. That's going to be a point for the Broncos. 17-13 now on the PSA scoreboard as Neva Kokesh goes back behind the line to serve. Serve is going to go straight to number 5, Katie House. They set it up for Finley Osama. That's received by the Broncos. Off hit for Kami Cronin. Looked like it hit the side of her hand, and so that messed up what tried to be just a little lob over the net, but ended up bouncing off the net, and Broncos couldn't keep it in play. So that's a point for Mesabi East. 17-14, a whole bunch of substitutions going on. I'm going to do my best to keep up with these, but that was like 3 players coming in. Molly House, one of them, and she's going to go back to service for Mesabi East. Serve down by 3, 17-14, and that could be an ace unless Grasshorn almost able to get it back in play, but unfortunately that will be a point for Mesabi East. Unfortunate, I should say, for the Broncos. Not unfortunate for Mesabi East. 17-15. Hey, you are listening live on Lakes Country 104.1 KSTM and on yourliveevent.com from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College press box. And that's a block by Finley Osama to now get Mesabi East within 1. This is now what was a 3-point game is now a 1-point game. Mesabi East rallying, served by House, Molly House specifically. Broncos receive, Lauren Bastrava sets it over, sends it to Faith Awesome, but that's going to be a net foul against, they say, number 2, Neva Kokesh of the Broncos. So now we have a tied game on the PSA scoreboard, 17-all. Molly House serves, back line, Amara Buller, a heavy serve. Grasshorn sets it up for Rasmussen. She sends it to the back row. Now it's going to be Mesabi East, sent it over by Reese Heikala. Grasshorn over to Bassaraba, and that's Bassaraba with the point. Taking the lead back for International Falls. It is now 18-17. Quick substitution. Chesney Skrine comes into the game. Mara Buller comes out of the game. Mara Buller, number 10. Served by Kami Cronin. Mesabi East can't set up their play, so they're going to have to send it over. Grasshorn over to Rasmussen. Rasmussen, stutter step, gets blocked by Heikala, but Heikala unable to keep it in play. That's going to be a point for the Broncos now. Back up by 2, 19-17 with Kami Cronin serving for International Falls. She's going to send it to the back row. That's Heikala on the receive. Rost over to number 7, Osama, received by Cronin. Chesney Skrine's going to send it over the net now. That's Molly House to Faith Manu. And that's number 7, Finley Osama, sending it back to the Broncos. They're going to set something up. That's Rasmussen with her attempt. Straight to Faith Manu. Rost over to Tatiana Baker, but sadly that's going to be off the net and double hit / 4 hits And so, unfortunately, it looked like she was going to try and really whack at that thing. And now we're going to get our first timeout of the game called by Mesabi East. They have one timeout left. And, hey, every timeout is brought to you by a Service Master of International Falls for a home professionally cleaned all year round. Call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Town and Grush are going to take great care of you. We're going to be back in 30 seconds on Lakes Country 104.1. KSDM and on yourliveevent.com from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College press box.
Employees at Packaging Corporation of America have been producing quality paper for over a century. We understand our responsibility to the community, and we're honored to support the many needs and events occurring in the borderland. From providing donations to local schools and events, to supporting organizations meeting physical needs in our community, Packaging Corporation of America does more than make paper. We make a difference.
Hey, we have ourselves a Bronco lead coming out of the timeout, 20-17 on the PCA scoreboard. Cammie Cronin on fire from the service line. She's going to send it to the back row to Molly House. Rost over to number 12, Heikela, and that's going to be a point for the Broncos as that goes out of bounds. So now it's 21-17. Broncos 4 points away from taking set number 1. Broncos on fire now. It seemed like having Peyton Grasshorn back in the lineup has helped out in a major way. Added some extra depth. Tatiana Baker-Lehman sends it over. No good. Broncos. Rasmussen blocked it. Somehow keeping it in play. Bounce off the net. And what a effort by the Broncos keeping it in play. Tatiana Baker-Lehman has something to say, though. That's a point for Mesabi East after the kill by Tatiana Baker-Lehman. Quick substitution coming into the game, number 17, Eliza Pisey, subbed in for number 14, Lainey Rost. Back to serve, Reese Heikela of Mesabi East. Reese Heikela to Mara Buller on the reception. Grasshorn sets it up, that's Basaraba, and Basaraba brings it down off the fingertips of a couple of blockers and still keeps it in play just out of reach of Faith Manu, the Mesabi East libero. And so Lauren Basaraba, I count 3 kills for tonight. So Broncos now up 22-18 on the PCA scoreboard, and back to serve is Charlie Swanson. She was another server who was on fire for some time for the Broncos. Tatiana Baker-Lehman, though, they're going to say that was a double hit, perhaps, or another foul. So that's going to be unfortunate for Mesabi East, but very fortunate for the Broncos as they are now up 23-18. Here on the PCA scoreboard. So Swanson back to serve once again. Sends it to number 12, Heikela. They set it up for Asama, and that's going to be Asama getting the point for Mesabi East. So they're going to slow the Broncos down now. Broncos 2 points away from taking set number 1, and they sub in number 16, Marta Forsleen, getting an extra brick on the Great Wall of Mesabi East. And that's going to be an ace. Miscommunication on the Broncos. For a second, I think someone might have said, like, oh, let it go, thinking it might go out of bounds. But no, that's going to be an ace for Finley Asama, trying to get a big comeback going as it is now 23-20. Mara Buller with the reception. And Forsleen with the kill, bringing the hammer down. And Mesabi East trying to give themselves some hope here in set number 1. They were down by 4 at one point, and now it is a 2-point game. Led the rally by Finley Asama, who is back to serve once again. And that's going to be inbounds. Another ace. Broncos collapsing a little, and now it's going to be a Bronco timeout called. Score is 23-22, and as you guys know, every scoreboard update is brought to you by a Service Master of International Falls, and every scoreboard update throughout today's contest is brought to you by Packaging Corporation of America. We'll be back in 30 seconds after the timeout. You're listening on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM, watching on yourliveevent.com, and all this is live from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College press box.
The unique strengths of Rainy River lie in the fact that you're going to be supported by faculty and staff, and you're going to be supported by the community.
You know all the professors by name, they all know you by name. We're not just a number, like we actually have a face to the name, which is honestly pretty good. I like it. I'm known, everybody else is known in the school. It makes it feel more comfortable to be here, especially being so far away from home.
Welcome back to the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box on Lakes Country, 104.1 KSTM and YourLiveEvent.com. Broncos up 23-22, needing to get this next point. Mara Bull is going to bump it over after the serve by Finley Osmo. She was on fire with a couple of aces, and that's going to be a kill by number 16, Marta Forsleen. The ball was still in the air when she turned to her teammates and went to celebrate, and we are tied now, 23-all on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos gave up a 4-point lead and now are in some trouble as the Mesabi East Giants are rallying right now. Again, that was Forsleen, her third kill of the night. Swanson sets it up. That's Chesley Skrine who's going to lob it over. And it looks like that was out of bounds, so that's another point. Mesabi East 1 point away from taking set number 1. Broncos can't give this one up. That's going to be another timeout. Coach Hall of the Broncos using up her second timeout of set number 1. And as you guys know, this timeout is brought to you by Service Master of International Falls for a home professionally cleaned all year round. Call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Tonight is Mental Health Awareness for the Broncos volleyball game tonight. As you can see, there are multiple green t-shirts being worn that has 988 on the back, and Northland Counseling, they are the ones who provided those t-shirts. They are the ones who are providing today's theme of mental health awareness. And some facts about mental health awareness. Mental health conditions affect nearly 1 in 5 adults in the United States, and among young adults ages 18 to 25, the prevalence is even higher at around 36%. Service by number 7, Finley Osama, goes to Grasshorn, Basraba to Swanson, Heikala to Pisey, and that's number 16, blocked by the Broncos. We are tied once again. And as you guys know, it is a team that wins by 2 points. So Broncos need to have a big rally led by Lauren Basraba, tied 24-all. Received by Heikala. Forsleen over to Pisey. Now it's Swanson. She sets it up for Skrine, and Skrine gets the kill. Broncos in the lead, 25-24, and right here is set point as we get a timeout called by Mesabi East, their last timeout. And this is only the first set, but ladies and gentlemen, we are down to have an absolute slugfest between these two teams. I'm loving it. I'm calling it. So let's get ready. Again, as you guys know, every timeout is brought to you by Service Master of International Falls for home professionally cleaned all year round. Call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd and Gretchen are going to take great care of you. And going back to my mental health awareness facts, as it is the Mental Health Awareness Night, brought to you by the Northland Counseling Center. Shout out to you guys. Thank you guys for coming out for this, and thank you to all of you wearing green in support of mental health awareness. Did you guys know that half of all mental health disorders develop by the age of 14? Common mental health conditions include depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and substance use disorders, and there are over 200 different types of mental health illnesses. And the biggest impact mental health conditions can significantly impact daily life, work, relationships, and overall well-being. And that's why it is so important to keep these awareness up for mental health. Basaraba with the serve for the Broncos, and that's going to be an ace! Broncos take set number 1. 26-24, thanks to the ace by Lauren Basaraba. And so now we're going to get ready for set number 2 incoming. Again, Broncos win 26-24 to take set number 1 over Mesabi East, and now they're going to get ready for set number 2. And so this is going to be this is the big one here. If the Broncos can get the win here, they are 1 set away from taking the match. If Mesabi East gets the win, then that means that we are going to have a chance of going into 4 or even 5 extra sets. And so stay tuned as we get ready for our upcoming second set of action here in a couple of minutes. You're listening and watching on Lakes Country 104.1 KSTM and YourLiveEvent.com from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box.
Fall is a busy season for local businesses. New projects, fresh goals, and big ideas. At TrueStar, we understand what it takes to grow something real because we're right here with you. I'm Ryan Tamevi with TrueStar. Whether you're expanding your shop, upgrading equipment, or planning ahead, we're here to help you move forward with a business loan that fits. TrueStar Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Follow us on social media.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Hi, this is Rob from Falls Lumber Company. I'm new to the company, though not to the industry. If you're looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, stop in and see me in the Design Center. I can help you pick out the perfect cabinets or countertops from brands such as Crystal Cabinets, Cambria, Corian, and Silestone. If you're in need of flooring, we have options including luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, engineered hardwood, and tile. Stop into the Design Center to see me anytime. When you're looking to build or remodel, come to the experts at Falls Lumber Company, 201 4th Street in International Falls.
On YourLiveEvent.com, and we are here live from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box. Set number 2 just about underway. It's going to be Charlie Swanson for the Broncos serving to start set number 2. Broncos took set number 1, 26-24, and someone needs to, and that's going to be an ace for Charlie Swanson, and luckily they were able to get the point right before the timer went off, because that buzzer would have been very loud and probably would have messed up the play for either team. So ace by Charlie Swanson of the Broncos. Now they take a 1-0 lead early in the set. Number 2 after winning set number 1. This is going to be set up for Osama, but that's going to be off the net. That's another point for the Broncos now. 2-0 lead. Deja vu of set number 1 as the Broncos were able to get a quick lead in that one also. Broncos took set number 1, 26-24 after rallying after Mesabi East managed to get the 24-23 lead. Kokesh with a receive, and that's going to be number 6, Tatiana Baker-Lehman, who I'll credit with the point. And so now it's a 2-1 game. Broncos leading by 1 as Mesabi East sends number 7, Finley Osama, to the back line. That goes out of bounds for a Bronco point. Now 3-1 on the PCA scoreboard. And make sure you stay tuned after the game for our post-game Player Awards as Enbridge sponsors the Enbridge Energy Player of the game, the player who has the most exciting and energetic play of the game. And then there's, of course, the Domino's Pizza Player of the game as number 16, Marta Forzlin, who has been a huge driving force for Mesabi East, gets a point for the Giants to help slow down the Broncos' momentum and make it a 3-2 game. They send number 6, Tatiana Baker-Lehman, to the back line. She has been another consistent player for the Giants in today's contest, but that's unfortunate as that bounces off the net. Point for the Broncos now, 4-2. Quick substitutions as number 13 comes into the game, subbing in for Baker-Lehman. Mika Honkala goes to the back line. Broncos also sub out their libero, and that's going to be a point for Mesabi East as Chesley Scrine's serve goes off the net. Chesley Scrine subbed out. Subbed in is number 10, Mara Bowler. Subbed into the game for Mesabi East is going to be number 14, Lainey Roth. She comes in for number 17, Eliza Pisey. Roth, she has been one of the main setters. She has assisted Mesabi East in a couple of the rallies that they've had throughout the first set, so she's going to certainly have a big impact. Cronin with an attempt is no good. Molly House with her own attempt. Dive by Mara Bowler keeps it in play. Now it's Grasshorn with an attempt, but that's off the net. That's a point for Mesabi East, but what a dive. Mara Bowler has been stupendous in the libero position for today's game. And a special shout out too to Peyton Grasshorn, who this is her first game back after being injured for the Rockridge game, and she has been a force for the Broncos. Kokesh is going to be out of bounds with her attempt. She tried to hug the line on the far side, but no good, so that's a point. Mesabi East gets their first lead of set number 2, 5-4 on the PCA scoreboard with Rost serving. That's received by Basaraba. And 50-50 ball, that's going to be taken by Marta Forsleen. She is someone where you got to count on her to get those 50-50 points because she is the tallest player in that front line, towering over the Bronco players. Served by Rost. Incoming, this one's going to go to Kokesh, who sends it to the center. Swanson over to Grasshorn. Grasshorn's going to send it to the back corner, and they say it was on the line, so that's a point for the Broncos. Peyton Grasshorn threads the needle, and Broncos down 6-5 on the PCA scoreboard. They sub in number 18, Cameron Rasmussen, and they send Peyton Grasshorn to the back line to serve for the Broncos. Hoping to get a rally going here for International Falls. She has 1 ace on the night. Grasshorn sends it to the back row, received by Faith Manu. Mesabi sends it over. Now Rasmussen punches it over the net. Forsleen to Rost. Over to Forsleen. Blocked by the Broncos. They keep it in play and send it back over. Grasshorn sets it up. This is going to go to Kokesh off the net and off of a Giant. And Mesabi East keeps it in play, though. Faith Manu, the one to send it over the net. Grasshorn sets it up. This is going to be Cronin. Received dig by number 13, Mika Honkala. And this play is still going. And Kokesh tried to punch it over for a lob. They set it up. This is going to be number 12, Heikala, and it's still going, though. Grasshorn sets out. This is Rasmussen, blocked, and she able to keep it in play. Broncos just send it over, not trying to panic play. And now it's going to be Forsleen, bumps it over, and dive by Bowler, keeping it in play, bounces in the ceiling, and Grasshorn able to send it back over the net. And now we hit. It's still going. No one's gotten the point. And that's going to be Forsleen silencing it finally. And that's a point for Mesabi East Giants by Marta Forsleen. Giants get a 2-point lead here in set number 2, 7-5. As number 18, the libero, Faith Manu, goes to the back line to serve. She sends it to Basaraba. It's Rasmussen with an attempt off the side of the hand of Finley Osman, who went up for the block, and that's going to be Cameron Rasmussen with the Bronco kill. So now it is 6-7. Broncos lead. Neva Kokesh with the serve for the, Mesabi East lead. Neva Kokesh with the serve. And Broncos trying to get a quick point after a 50-50 ball. Grasshorn sets it out. This is Cronin off the net. Broncos keeping it in play. Kokesh sends it over. Now Rost sets it up. This is going to be number 15, Molly House. Sends it over. Rasmussen with a receive. Sets it up. That goes to Basaraba. Off the hand of Lainey Rost, and that's Lauren Basaraba getting the point for the Broncos. And so we have a tied game now, 7-all on the PCA scoreboard. Neva Kokesh goes back to serve for International Falls. Kokesh serves it to the back row. That's number 13, Honkala, and that's going to be point for the Broncos. 8-7 now on the PCA scoreboard. Neva Kokesh back to serve once again for International Falls. Kokesh sends it to the back row. That's Faith Manu with the receive. Lainey Rost over to Osma, and Osma trying to get a running start there. Awkward hit, bounces off the net. That's a point for the Broncos. 9-7 now. Broncos with a 2-point lead on the PCA scoreboard. And a special shout out to all of our other sponsors. At the beginning of the game, there was the national anthem brought to you by local VFW, post 2948. Kokesh with the serve, and Kokesh with the ace! Able to get it right in front of Faith Manu, just too far out of reach of her dive. And so Broncos now with a 3-point lead, 10-7. Kokesh serves. That's Manu, and Kokesh, another ace. Back-to-back now for Neva Kokesh, 11-7 now, 7-11. Love the gas station, but I will say the ones here in town are probably better. Service by Kokesh. 2 back-to-back aces. Trying to make it 3, no good. It's going to be Heikala sending it over the back line. That's another point for the Broncos now, up by 5 on the PCA scoreboard. 12-7. Kokesh to serve once again. Now she's the one who's got a couple aces in her pocket in today's game. Rost sends it over to number 16, Forsleen. Broncos keep it in play. Grasshorn sends it over to the back corner. Now Ross, she's going to set up. This time it's Molly House with the kill, and that's going to be Looks like they're trying to discuss whether they're going to give the point. They say a Bronco tipped the ball on the way out, so that's going to be a point for the Broncos. Molly House bringing the hammer on her first kill of the night. So 12-8. Mesabi East, they've been in a situation like this before where they were down by 4 and they were able to climb back. In fact, especially late in the game too, when the Broncos were up 23-19, and Mesabi East was able to climb back in that situation and tie it up and then even take a 24-23 lead. Broncos able to get the timeout and then rally for 3 huge points that got them the win in set number 1. They finished delegating and they still award the point to Mesabi East, saying Bronco tipped the ball out. Quick substitution. Number 15, Molly House comes out of the game. Coming into the game, number 5, Katie House. So, it's like moving from one house to another house. Katie House to serve for Mesabi East, 12-5 on the PSA scoreboard. That makes it now 13-8, excuse me, after the serve goes out of bounds. Mara Bowler comes out of the game. Chesney Scrine subbed in as Cami Cronin goes behind the line to serve for the Broncos. Cami Cronin gets an ace. Miscommunication. It looked like a sticky situation for Lainey Ross as it got too close to the net. She wasn't sure how close it was and how close she was to the net, so that led to the point for the Broncos. And that's another ace. Miscommunication among the Giants, and now it is 15-8. And Cami Cronin, 2 aces for her. So now it is a 15-8 game when we get our first timeout of set number 2, called by Coach Hinderman of Mesabi East. And so she's going to try and get things figured out for her team. And this timeout is brought to you by Service Master of International Falls, for a home professionally cleaned all year round. Call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd and Grosh are going to take great care of you. It's Mental Health Awareness Month. Hey, make sure you reach out to someone that you know is dealing with mental health issues. Make sure you let them know they are heard. We're going to take a quick 30-second break, and we'll be back.
Employees at Packaging Corporation of America have been producing quality paper for over a century. We understand our responsibility to the community, and we're honored to support the many needs and events occurring in the borderland. From providing donations to local schools and events, to supporting organizations meeting physical needs in our community, Packaging Corporation of America does more than make paper. We make a difference.
Your dream project starts here.
Welcome back to the Rainy River, Minnesota North College press box. Cami Cronin trying to get her 3rd ace in a row. Mesabi East, though, locked in. But Tatiana Baker-Lehman was blocked, and so scrambling. Mesabi East unable to get the ball back over the net in 3 hits, so that leads to a Bronco point, now up by 8. 16-8 on the PSA scoreboard, the biggest lead of this entire game so far. Tatiana Baker-Lehman, gets the kill, though. Looked like she was about to try and smack it, but she decided, you know what, let's a little bit lighter this time. And she was able to thread the needle right between all the Bronco defenders, now 16-9. So serving is Reese Heikela, but that goes out of bounds. Bronco point, 17-9 now. Quick substitution. Charlie Swanson into the game. Cameron Rasmussen out of the game with the substitution. Swanson, she has 3 aces in today's game. She has been a really, really strong server for the Broncos. Swanson's serve goes to number 5, Katie House. That's number 17, Eliza Heisey. And that's an attempt by Heikela, but that goes out of bounds, so that's another point for the Broncos. 18-9, And now this is the biggest lead of the game. 9 points, Broncos leading, 18-9. Swanson with the serve. Beeline, dive by number 5, Katie House. That's Tatiana Baker-Lehman avoiding the net foul. Chesney Scrine sets it up by Grasso, and that's blocked by Asama. Chesney Scrine able to bump it over the net, but that goes out of bounds. That's a point for Mesabi East, 18-10 now. Quick substitution. Forsleen comes into the game. Finley Asama, who has 2 aces from set number 1. And she was a big leader for the Giants when they made that comeback late in set number 1. And that's going to be blocked Forsleen going for the kill, blocked by Peyton Grasshorn and Lauren Basaraba. Broncos silencing Mesabi East here in set number 2. Mesabi East just having all kinds of communication issues as the Broncos are leading 19-10. It is number 9. Speaking of a 9-point lead, number 9, Lauren Basaraba serves it for the Broncos. Kokesh sets it up. That's Swanson over to Kokesh, but that's going to be off the net, so that's a point for Mesabi East, 19-11. Good year, that one. Quick substitution. Molly House comes in. Katie House comes out, so swapping houses again. Serving, Tatiana Baker-Lehman, another consistent server for Mesabi East and a big leader both offensively and defensively. Molly House trying to do a feint and show she was going to smack it. Instead, went for a light hit. Neva Kokesh over. Now it's set up for Forsleen, who gets blocked. Now it's Mesabi East having to bump it over. That's Heikela sending it to the Broncos. Swanson sets it up. This is Kokesh again. This one goes over the back line. A little too much muscle there. Hating the gym too much, doing too much arm day. Just kidding, there's no such thing. You keep doing arm day, you guys. You gym rats out there. Tatiana Baker-Lehman hoping to set up a huge rally for her team. Down by 7, 19-12. Mesabi East going to have to settle just bumping it over, though. Heikela is the one to send it over. Basaraba to Swanson to Skrine. She sends it to the back row. That's received by Heikela. Now it's number 15, House, who gets it past both Marable and Lauren Basaraba and gets a kill to make it now 19-13 on the PSA scoreboard. A 6-point lead for the Broncos, but Mesabi East is climbing fast. Broncos, they do not want to lose the momentum they have. They cannot choke this lead. This is a huge lead for them. Tatiana Baker-Lehman serves for Mesabi East. She does a huge run-up for her serves, too. I noticed she's like backed up against the gym wall. And that serve block, that spike blocked. Now Faith Manu having to just send it over. Miscommunication. 50-50 ball, and they're going to say that is a Mesabi East point. Net foul against number 16, Charlie Swanson. So Tatiana Baker-Lehman getting ready to serve. 19-14, a 5-point lead. Baker-Lehman sends it to Kokesh. Now it's Swanson who sets it out. This is going to go to Skrine, who sends it over the back line. So now it's a 19-15 game. Mesabi is trying to make the comeback from dream to reality. And we're going to get a timeout called. Aaron Hall, realizing her players are a little flustered and are giving up a huge lead, so she needs to get them locked in again and get the momentum shift back in their favor. So we're going to see what happens after this timeout. Both teams have used up one, and these timeouts are brought to you by Service Master of International Falls for a home professionally cleaned all year round. Call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd and Gresh are going to take great care of you. You're listening on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM and watching on YourLiveEvent.com. And you are also checking this out live from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box. Start your voyage at the Rainy River campus. Your future awaits you right here in your own backyard. Rainy River, Minnesota North College, 218-598-9300. Again, Packaging Corporation is our sponsor for every scoreboard update. So every time you hear me talk about the score, that is sponsored by Packaging Corporation of America. Thank you so much for being a sponsor. And again, make sure you stay tuned for a post-game show for our post-game player awards brought to you by Enbridge and Domino's Pizza. Tatiana Baker-Lehman with the serve, 19-15. Swanson sets it out. This is going to be Grasshorn who gets it over the blockers. Dive by Faith Manu. Keeps it into play. She's going to set it over. Broncos now trying to set something up. Swanson sets it over to Kokesh. Blocked and out of bounds. So that's a Bronco point. Unlucky block by Mesabi East. It was a good block, I will say that. Neva Kokesh really put some power on that. But unfortunate for Mesabi East, it went out of bounds. Chesney Skrine with the serve for the Broncos. Now it's Molly House having to do a back foot attempt there, and that kind of goes out of bounds, so unable to get fully underneath that and get the accuracy she wanted. Chesney Skrine with another serve, 21-15, but that goes over the back line. 21-16 now, a 5-point game still. Mara Bowler subbed in for Chesney Skrine of the Broncos. Quick substitution coming into the game, number 14, Lainey Ross. She has been big for the team in terms of serving and setting. She has been really good at setting up a lot of plays for her team. Cami Cronin with an attempt. That goes to number 13, Mika Heikela. Honkala, excuse me. Honkala, and that's a point for Mesabi East. So now it's 21-17 on the PCA scoreboard. Rost to serve once again. Broncos can't give up these late leads that they have. Rost beeline, and that's going to be Rost with the ace for Mesabi East. Laney Rost putting some heat on that, trying to make sure it was unable for Mara Bowler to keep it in play. Great effort, though, but now it's 21-18. Rost with the serve. That goes to Bowler. Swanson's going to set it up. That's Cami Cronin now. Blocked, and that's going to be number 16. You guessed it with the block. Marta Forsleen. She has 3 blocks now. 21-19. The rally is continuing for Mesabi East. Broncos possibly losing a bit of gas in the tank, but never mind. Maybe I spoke too soon because Laney Ross' serve goes off the net. That is now 22-19 on the PCA scoreboard with Peyton Grasshorn going back to serve for the Broncos. She has been a very consistent server for the International Falls. Subbed into the game also, Cameron Rasmussen. Grasshorn's serve, though, goes off the net, 22-20. Forsleen goes behind the line to serve for Mesabi East. Quick substitution, number 18, the libero, Faith Manu comes out, coming into the game. Finley Osama, she is dangerous for Mesabi East. Forsleen serves it. Neva Kokesh to Bowler. She's going to send it over to Rasmussen. Rasmussen unable to get anything going, so she sends it over. Rost over to Osama off a blocker, and that's going to be Osama getting the point. A kill for Mesabi East thanks to Finley Osama, who has been a huge leader for her team in a lot of these big rallies and big comebacks that they've made to keep the game as close as it is. 22-21 on the PCA scoreboard. Forsleen to serve for Mesabi East. She sends it to Mara Buller in the back row. Rasmussen sends it back over the net. Ross, she sets it up for Heikala. Heikala sends it to the back row. That goes out of bounds, and they're going to say a Bronco player tipped the ball. So that's a point in a tied game, 22-all on the PCA scoreboard here in set number 2. Broncos needing to get the win here to be up 2-0. They're already up 1-0 after taking set 1. Marabola able to get the bump. Rost to number 13, Honkala, and that's going to be 4 hits. And so Mesabi East loses their momentum. 23-22 now. Broncos now 2 points away from taking set number 2. It's going to be on the shoulders of Neva Kokesh, who has 3 aces in today's game so far. 2 of those coming from this second set. Rasmussen with 2 attempts, and somehow Mesabi East keeps it in play. A dive from Faith Manu gets it in the air. Now it's Grasshorn with an attempt. No good. Molly House sends it over. Rasmussen to Grasshorn. She sets it up. Back to Rasmussen, trying to get the point. No good. Tipped off of a blocker. Now it's going to be Asama. Sends it over, and just out of reach of 2, maybe 3 Broncos diving. Now we're tied once again, 23-all. Deja vu, people. Tied game here late in another set. This is back-to-back now. These 2 teams are fighting right now. And they're going to sub in number 5, Katie House, to serve for Mesabi East, subbing out Molly House. Sends it to Neva Kokesh. Possible ace. Never mind. Grasshorn keeps it in play. Kokesh is going to send it back over the net. So now this play is still going. Rost, she sets it. This is Asama with a kill. No good. Off the hands of Mara Buller. Now it's Rasmussen with her own attempt. And Rasmussen gets the kill! Broncos lead by 1. 24-23 on the PCA scoreboard. And this is only set number 2. Quick substitution. Chesley Scrine comes into the game. Subbed in for the libero. Mara Buller. Cami Cronin. Her serve for the Broncos. She has been on fire today. Rost to Baker Lehman, and Baker Lehman says, "Nah, no way." That's a kill for her, and another tied score at 24-all. If I had a nickel for every time these 2 teams tied at 24 or 24 in a set, I'd have 2 nickels, which isn't a lot, but it's weird it's happened twice in this game. Heikala with the serve for Mesabi East. Rasmussen over to Kokesh, able to get it over the net. This play is still going. Heikala to Roth. She sets it up for Asama, trying to end it, but that goes over the back line. Broncos up 25-24. Broncos now. This is set point right here. Broncos are already up 1-0, and now they are up 25-24. And it is Charlie Swanson brought into the game. She could be the one to end it right here. Charlie Swanson, she has 3 aces as well in today's contest. Serve. That's Katie House, and Eliza Pisey pulled a rope-a-dope, and For a second, I thought they almost awarded the point, but we are tied 25-all. Finley Osama goes to the back line to serve. It's to Basaraba, and that's number 16, Marta Forsleen. Powerhouse gets the lead. Now it is match point in favor, or excuse me, set point in favor of Mesabi East, and Coach Hall is going to have to use a timeout here. 26-25, Mesabi East leads on the PCA scoreboard, and this timeout is brought to you by Service Master of International Falls. Special shout out to Northland Counseling Center, who is here for tonight's Mental Health Awareness Night, and it is very important to keep mental health awareness a thing. As you guys know, suicide is actually the third leading cause of death among young adults ages 15 to 24, and mental health is also a leading cause of disability and healthcare costs. And despite their prevalence, mental health conditions are often stigmatized. And that is why nights like these, like Spike Stigma, is important to fight back against that stigma against mental health. Timeout is over. Serve by Asama goes to Bowler. Now it's going to be Swanson over to Skrine. She's going to have to bump it over, just keep it in play. Now it's Rost over to Forsleen, who could end it. And Forsleen gets the kill, and that is going to be Mesabi East winning it 27-25 on the PCA scoreboard. And so now we have a tied game, 1-all. Between the Broncos and the Mesabi East Giants. And the folks from Northland Counseling Center are throwing some green mental health awareness t-shirts into the crowd. Again, these t-shirts are really cool. They're green t-shirts, and they have 988 on the back of them. And 988, as you guys know, back in July of 2023 was established as the mental health hotline, where it offers you a hotline to the suicide prevention and also to other information regarding mental health and mental health awareness. So it is really awesome that they are doing this, and this is a great night because September is Mental Health Awareness Night too. And so we're going to get ready for set number 3. Two teams tied now. 1-all after a 27-25 win from Mesabi East in set number 2. We're going to get ready for set number 3. You're listening and watching on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM and YourLiveEvent.com.
The unique strengths of Rainy River lie in the fact that you're going to be supported by faculty and staff, and you're going to be supported by the community.
You know, all the professors by name, they all know you by name. We're not just a number, like we actually have a face to the name, which is honestly pretty good. I like it. I'm known, everybody else is known in the school. It makes it feel more comfortable to be here, especially being so far away from home.
Fall is a busy season for local businesses. New projects, fresh goals, and big ideas. At TrueStar, we understand what it takes to grow something real because we're right here with you. I'm Ryan Tamevi with TrueStar. Whether you're expanding your shop, upgrading equipment, or planning ahead, we're here to help you move forward with a business loan that fits. TrueStar Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Follow us on social media.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
Hey, what do you say? It's set number 3 here in International Falls High School Gymnasium, and we have ourselves a tied game here, 1-1, after a thrilling and outstanding 27-25 set number 2 win for Mesabi East over the Broncos to tie it up. And these two teams have been back and forth. It has been neck and neck in both sets so far. Mesabi East to serve first, and that's going to be blocked. That's number 6, Tatiana Baker-Lehman, with assistance from number 16, Marta Forsleen. And that's a serve by Finley Osma. And so Mesabi East is going to be first on the board for set number 3 this time. A change in pace now. Mesabi East scoring the first point. Peyton Grasshorn, though, has something to say about that. She gets the kill. Broncos now tie it up thanks to Peyton Grasshorn's kill. And what a play by Peyton Grasshorn. Like I said, she was absent in the game against Rock Ridge with an injury, and now she came back, and she came back with a fury. Lauren Basaraba serves for the Broncos. Faith Manu able to keep it in play. Charlie Swanson to Skrine, over to Grasshorn again, but that's going to be off the net, so point for Mesabi East now. 2-1 on the PCA scoreboard. As you guys know, Packaging Corporation of America here in International Falls sponsors every scoreboard update. Quick substitution, Katie House out, Molly House in. One house for another house. Tatiana Baker-Lehman with the serve. Swanson sets it over to Kokesh. Kokesh off a blocker, but still in play. But Skrine has something to say. Chesney Skrine gets a kill this time. And surprisingly, she's only gotten her second one thus far, but that is still a point for the Broncos, tying it up 2-2. Quick substitution, Cami Cronin comes into the game, subbed in for Mara Bolia. Chesney Skrine goes back behind the line to serve. She sends it to Heikala. That 50-50 ball taken by Peyton Grasshorn, who gets the point for the Broncos. And so now it is a 3-2 lead. Broncos now get their first lead of set number 3. Broncos were up 1-0. Mesabi East able to rally back after a 9-point deficit in set number 2. And that's going to be a point for Mesabi East thanks to Eliza Pizy. A bit of a misdirection there. She's been one of the players consistently setting it for her team. And so she decided, let's just real quick just set it over the net. Found a little hole in the middle of the Broncos defense, and the ball landed untouched on the hardwood. And that led to the Mesabi East point. Served by Rost, another strong setter for Mesabi East. This is an attempt by Peyton Grasshorn. No good, 50-50 ball. And now Grasshorn takes that, another 50-50 ball. That's Molly House, sends it over. Kokesh on the receive. Grasshorn back to Kokesh. That's going to be sent over to Mesabi East. Rost sets it up. This is Heikala, but Neva Kokesh takes a 50-50, and that's a point for the Broncos, thanks to number 2, Neva Kokesh. So now it is a 4-3 lead for the Broncos on the PCA scoreboard as they bring in Mara Buller and send Peyton Grasshorn behind the line to serve for International Falls. Grasshorn sends it to number 13, Honkala. That is number 16, Forsleen, who gets the kill. She is a leader for the team. She has 8 kills in today's matchup and 3 blocks. She is a strong back front row player for her team. Grasshorn sets it up for Rasmussen off the net, and somehow Broncos keep it in play. What? Bounced twice off of the net and still got it over. Molly House, though, able to end that madness as she gets the kill. Hitting it so hard that it bounced off the net and went over to the Broncos side of the ball. Now they lead 5-4. It is Faith Manu serving for Mesabi East. The libero sends it to Lauren Basaraba. Now it's Cronin, blocked by Osama. Now it's Rasmussen. She lobs it over, but that's going to be a little too far over. Goes out of bounds. Now, and actually, no, they're going to say it was a net violation by number 12 of Mesabi East, Reese Heikala. So now we have a tied game after the net foul. 5-5. Rost sets it up. That's Osama with the kill. No good. Tipped by a couple of Bronco blockers. Now it's the libero, Mara Buller, from the back row, sends it over off the hand of a blocker and gets a Bronco point. That is her first kill of the night. You don't expect that from the libero. They're supposed to be, farther to the back. They don't get a lot of kills. But Mara Buller said, I'm getting one. Get me one. That is Heikala, sends it over. Kokesh to Grasshorn. This is going to be Cami Cronin who sets it over. That's Rost to House. House able to get it off the hands of the blockers and right into the face of Cameron Rasmussen to tie the game up at 6-all. And number 5, Katie House, subbed into the game. She's going to go back to serve for Mesabi East now. 6 points all, and that's going to be off the net, so that's a Bronco point. Broncos now lead over the Mesabi East Giants 6-7. Cami Cronin to serve for International Falls. Katie House to Ross, but Ross a little iffy on the hit. House able to send it back over. Rasmussen to Grasshorn, sets it behind her to Skrine. That's received by House. Rost over to Osma. Osma, that's received by Grasshorn. Grasshorn to Skrine. Skrine, though, with a kill, and they're going to say Mesabi East, and they're going to say that Chesley Skrine was over the line, so that's going to be a point for Mesabi East to tie the game up at 7-all. Had a feeling that was going to happen, but you know what? It was still a great play by Chesley Skrine. Serving is Reese Heikala. Grasshorn over to Basaraba, and Basaraba gets the point for the Broncos. So now it is 8-7. Broncos once again leading by 1. These two teams are scrappy right now. Always back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Like, it is insane. I hope you guys get the reference. And some mediating going on at the front table. I'm not sure what's going on. I always wonder if I could maybe find a way to connect a microphone to the referees, and then that would make my job a lot easier, because then you guys can hear what they're saying and I can hear what they're saying. And so discussing substitutions, I guess, as Charlie Swanson's about to come into the game. Subbed in for number 18, Cameron Rasmussen. It will be Swanson going back to serve for the Broncos, leading by 1, 8-7. Charlie Swanson, a heavy hitter from the service line for International Falls with 3 aces in the pocket. Swanson sets it up. This is going to be Chesley Skrine. Gets it over the blockers. Dive by Katie House. Now they're going to set it up for Tatiana Baker-Lehman. That goes over the back line. Too much power, so Broncos are going to get a 9-7 lead now on the P-State scoreboard. Charlie Swanson to serve once again. Swanson with the serve. Beeline, but that's going to be off the net, so that's going to be a point for Mesabi East, and they get the serve. And it is a 9-8 game on the P-State scoreboard. Quick substitution. Marta Forsleen comes into the game. Going to the front line. Her usual designated place. Asma with a serve. That goes out of bounds, so that's a Bronco point after the service error. And so it is a 10-8 game. Broncos lead on the PCA scoreboard, and they send Lauren Basaraba to the back line to serve for International Falls. Basaraba with the serve. That's received by Katie House. Bounce off the ceiling. Able to recover, though. And they are able to send it over. Swanson sets it up. That's Kokesh who sends it to Katie House. Set up for Tatiana Baker-Lehman. Blocked by the Broncos. Chesley Skrine keeps it in play. Now it's Grasshorn who sends it over. Once again, set up. Pisey to Baker-Lehman. Once again, blocked by Chesley Skrine. Those two have been back and forth. And now Grasshorn's attempt, too low, goes off the net. That is a 10-9 lead for the Broncos on the PCA scoreboard. Quick substitution. Molly House goes in. Katie House comes out of the game. Tatiana Baker-Lehman goes to the back line to serve. A huge running start before a leaping serve received by Neva Kokesh. Swanson back to Kokesh. That goes miscommunication. It looked like Molly House was about to get it, but then she thought that her libero, Faith Manu, was going to get the reception, but instead didn't. That miscommunication gets a point for the Broncos, thanks in part to Neva Kokesh. 11-9. Chesley Skrine with the serve for the Broncos, and Pisey sets it up, and that's Forsleen with the kill. You guessed it. She is so close to getting double digits in kills. It's 11-10 game now for the Broncos, leading in this one. And Mesabi East, they bring in number 14, Lainey Rost, to serve for the Giants. She sends it to the back row. Mara Buller with the reception. Swanson over to Grasshorn. Grasshorn sends it to the back row, received by Rost. They're going to set it up for Molly House. That's blocked, and Mesabi East able to get it over the net somehow with the 50-50. Grasshorn blocked, and unfortunate for the Broncos. That leads to a point for Mesabi East. It's now tied 11-all on the PCA scoreboard. Rost to serve for Mesabi East. Peyton Grassman with a quick question for the line judge. May or may not be happy with the answer she got from the referee. And now we have the other referee going across to discuss. And I will say, it was a nice day outside, but for some reason it's kind of hot inside of the gym. It's a little humid, a little just warm. I was certainly sweating for some time, but again, I tend to sweat during games because I just get myself so worked up while calling these games. Anyway, back to the action. Tied 11-all on the PCA scoreboard. Rost with the serve. That's Mara Buller with the receive. Swanson over to Cronin. Cronin sends it. That's Faith Manu able to send it over the net. And they're going to give the point to the Broncos after it bounced off the lights from the looks of it. And so quick substitution. Number 18, Cameron Rasmussen comes in. Charlie Swanson comes out. 12-11, Broncos lead by 1. Peyton Grassman with the serve, received by Heikala. Rost sets it up. That's Molly House. Sends it to Rasmussen off her shoulder and keeps it in. And Forsleen, looks like they sent it out of bounds. So Forsleen, her hot streak might have been broken unless she gets fired up again. Grasshorn with the serve. Broncos up 13-11, and Grasshorn sends it over the back line, 13-12 now on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos lead by 1, and they are also leading on, they're tied 1-1 after Mesabi East took set number 2. Serving is the libero, Faith Manu. Grasshorn sets it out. This is Cronin. Cronin with the kill, but that's kept in play by Faith Manu. What a dive. And that allows for number 13, Mika Honkala, to send it over. Rasmussen, though, sends it to the back line. And after an iffy bump by Manu, Mesabi East once again able to send it over. And wait a sec. For a second, I thought it didn't hit the ground, but they say it did. I thought Manu somehow got the miraculous kill, but that's Neva Kokesh with the kill. I didn't notice that it bounced off the floor. I was getting, heat of the moment there. I got to chill. Neva Kokesh with the kill, though, for the Broncos. That is her third of the night. She has 3 aces, too. Cronin, unable to get it. Grasshorn sends it over. That's Honkala. Rost over to Heikala. That's received by Grasshorn to Bowler to Cronin, who sends it over the net. Now this is number 3. That's Honkala to Rost. That's Molly House. Grasshorn receives. Cronin sets it up. That's Rasmussen. Sends it over the back line. That's a point for Mesabi East. 14-13 on the PCA scoreboard. We're going to get a quick substitution coming into the game. Number 6, Tatiana Baker-Lehman subbed in for number 13, Mika Honkala. Serving is number 15, Molly House. Too much power, sends it over the back line. 15-13 now. Broncos lead by 2 on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos sub in number 21, Chesley Skrine, for their libero. Number 10, Mara Buller. Skrine goes to the front line. Cami Cronin goes back to serve. Received by House. That's Katie House. Heikala sends it over. Grasshorn over to Rasmussen, who gets it over. Bounce it off the side of the hand of one of the blockers. And Rasmussen gets the point for International Falls. Cameron Rasmussen, a big component in that front line for International Falls. Cami Cronin with the serve. And that's Cami Cronin with the ace as well. And that's her third of the night by my count. And so Broncos lead, I forgot to add a couple of scores here. It is 17-13. Broncos lead by 4. And this has been a common theme. Broncos, their biggest lead in the game has been a 9-point lead, but they've consistently been able to get up to a 4-point lead. But now they got to be careful because Mesabi East, they are scrappy, and they have been known to constantly come back after a 4-point deficit. So you got to stay cautious. But that timeout was called by Mesabi East coach Hinderman. And this timeout is brought to you by Service Master of International Falls. For a home professionally cleaned all year round. Call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd and Gresham are going to take great care of you. And a reminder, it is Mental Health Prevention Month. No, not Mental Health Prevention, Mental Health Awareness Month. And it's Suicide Prevention Month, and tonight is Mental Health Awareness Night for today, brought to you by Counseling Center, Northland Counseling Center. And another thing to know about mental health awareness is early intervention and treatment are crucial for improving outcomes for people with mental health conditions. Therapy, medication, and lifestyle changes can help manage symptoms and improve quality of life. Broncos with the serve. Asma sends it up. Chesney Scrine dives. Rasmussen sends it over. That's received by Faith Manu. Rost over to Tatiana Baker, her Lehman, and they say that it was just in front of Rasmussen, so that's a point for Mesabi East. Now 17-14. We could see the start of another one of those impressive comebacks by Mesabi East as they are down 17-14 with number 12, Reese Heikela, set to serve for Mesabi East. Basaraba to Grasshorn, both of them basically diving for it. That's set up. Tatiana Baker-Lehman standing can kill. Miscommunication. Looked like for a second Basaraba might have gone for it. Instead, pulled away. Grasshorn tried to get it, went under the net. That's a point for Mesabi East, 17-15. Heikela with the serve. That's Kokesh with the receive. Grasshorn over to Rasmussen. Rasmussen able to get it over, and there was a blocker there. One of them was Tatiana Baker-Lehman, who tried to readjust herself mid-air and get it hit back over the net after blocking it, but wasn't able to. So now it's 18-15 with Charlie Swanson going back behind the line for International Falls. Served by Swanson. This is going to be set up for Tatiana Baker-Lehman, who sends it over the back line. That's a point for the Broncos now, 19-15 on the PCA scoreboard. Swanson back again to serve. Once more, Broncos need this 2-1 lead in order to get one step closer to taking today's Mental Health Awareness Night home win. And Charlie Swanson getting an ace is one way that will certainly help with that. That is her fourth ace of the night by my count. Charlie Swanson on fire from behind the service line, and she has been a big key component in today's game. And the lead, 20-15 lead for the Broncos. That's going to be set up. That's Asama, who has been a big leader for the team, and she does get it done, getting a point, and that's her third kill of the night. So 20-16, Asama with the point for Mesabi East, and she's also going to be the one serving for Mesabi East. Down by 4. Familiar territory from Mesabi East. They are not too worried. Swanson sets it up. That's Grasshorn who sends it over. That's going to be received. They set it up. That's Forsling. Forsling, a lot of her points have been through killer smacks on the ball, but this time she went a different route. She kind of went for a light little touch over the net, and that led to a point. 20-17 now on the PCA scoreboard. Swanson sets it up. That's Chesney Scrine. Chesney Scrine gets the point for the Broncos now. 21-17 on the PCA scoreboard. That's looking like a football scoreboard now. They're going to send number 9, Lauren Basaraba, to serve for International Falls. PCA scoreboard says it's a 4-point lead for the Broncos. They cannot, though, give this up. And that's going to be an ace for number 9, Lauren Basaraba. Her second ace of the night. Broncos, they're going to lead to Mesabi East having to call a timeout. Their second and final timeout of set number 3. And this timeout is brought to you by Service Master of International Falls.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Hi, this is Rob from Falls Lumber Company.
Excuse me, for those of you watching on YourLifeEvent.com, sorry, I lost track of the advertisements. Went a little over, but quick recap. Great save by Mesabi East to get the point now, 22-18. With Tatiana Baker-Lehman with the serve, and Baker-Lehman gets the ace as well, 22-19, and this has been the name of the game for Mesabi East. They get you lulled, they get you thinking you have a groove, you have a rhythm, and then they come back. They have been down by 4 numerous times throughout all 3 sets, and they have been able to come back every single time. So Baker-Lehman with the serve, Broncos keeping it in play, Mara Buller puts it up in the air. Chesley Scrine sends it over. That goes over the back line. Now it's 22-20 on the PCA scoreboard. And Mesabi is continuing to try and climb back in this one. Looking at the previous scores, 26-24. Broncos won set 1. 27-25. Mesabi East won set 2. And that's ace for Baker-Lehman. She went without aces in the previous sets, and now she has 2 back-to-back with a 1-point lead for the Broncos on the PCA scoreboard. We're going to be back after this timeout, brought to you by Service Master of International Falls.
Though not to the industry. If you're looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, stop in and see me in the Design Center. I can help you pick out the perfect cabinets or countertops from brands such as Crystal Cabinets, Cambria, Corian, and Silestone. If you're in need of flooring, we have options including luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, engineered hardwood, and tile. Stop into the Design Center to see me anytime. When you're looking to build or remodel, come to the experts at Falls Lumber Company, 201 4th Street in International Falls.
North.edu.
Welcome back to the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box. 22-21, Broncos lead on the PCA scoreboard. But once again, we have a Mesabi East rally happening, led by Tatiana Baker-Lehman serving. Broncos keeping it in play, sending it over to Mesabi East. They send it right back. Chesley Scrine with the kill. Blocked, though, but that goes out of bounds, so that's the point for the Broncos. And now it is 23-21. Broncos lead by 2. The quick substitution. Cami Cronin comes into the game to the front line. She's coming in for Chesley Scrine. Mara Buller goes behind the back line to serve. The libero sends it to number 13, Honkala. This is Forsleen, and Forsleen, you guessed it, brings down the hammer. It is 23-22 now. Marta Forsleen, a huge leader for the team. She is in the double digits for kills right now. Quick substitution, it is Rost, another big leader for the team. She has been in on setting up a lot of plays for her team to try and make a lot of these huge rallies. 23-22, serve by Rost. Mara Buller receives Swanson over to Grasshorn. She sends it over the line. Dive by Honkala. Mara Buller to Swanson. She sets it up. This is Grasshorn again. Blocked, though, but Broncos keep it in play, and that's going to be unable to roll on the top of the net. We have a tied game, 23-all on the PCA scoreboard, and Moose Lake is rallying right now. Broncos have one more timeout. If Mesabi East gets the lead, well, you can bet that Coach Hall is going to be calling a timeout. Grasshorn, though, and that's going to be Grasshorn getting the point. We are Broncos leading. This is set point right here for International Falls with Peyton Grasshorn serving. It is number 18, Cameron Rasmussen, coming into the game, subbed in for Charlie Swanson. Grasshorn, set number 3. Set point, and Peyton Grasshorn almost able to get the ace, but that is saved by Haikala. Mesabi East unable to set up the play, though, and Grasshorn sets it up. Kokesh trying to decide it. Neva Kokesh with the kill, and Neva Kokesh says, hey, this set is ours. Broncos win set number 3, 25-23, and take a 2-1 lead on the PCA scoreboard. Let's go. We're getting ready for set number 4. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. You are listening and watching on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM and on YourLiveEvent.com from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box.
Employees at Packaging Corporation of America have been producing quality paper for over a century. We understand our responsibility to the community, and we're honored to support the many needs and events occurring in the borderland. From providing donations to local schools and events, to supporting organizations meeting physical needs in our community, Packaging Corporation of America does more than make paper. We make a difference.
The unique strengths of Rainy River lie in the fact that you're going to be supported by faculty and staff, and you're going to be supported by the community.
You know all the professors by name, they all know you by name. We're not just a number, like we actually have a face to the name, which is honestly pretty good. I like it. I'm known, everybody else is known in the school. It makes it feel more comfortable to be here, especially being so far away from home.
Fall is a busy season for local businesses. New projects, fresh goals, and big ideas. At TrueStar, we understand what it takes to grow something real because we're right here with you. I'm Ryan Tamevi with TrueStar. Whether you're expanding your shop, upgrading equipment, or planning ahead, we're here to help you move forward with a business loan that fits. TrueStar Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Follow us on social media.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
Welcome back to the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM. Broncos lead 2-1 after getting an impressive 25-23 win in set number 3, and now they need to get a win here to close out this mental health awareness night and get the win today. One thing I asked Coach Hall at the beginning of the game was what is it going to take for the team, because they've been in situations where they've been so close to coming away with a big win in a set or a big win in a match, and they just fall just a little short. It's always that one thing. What is it going to take, I asked her, to get that extra push? And as she said, it's going to be consistency. It's going to be her girls doing what they need to do to get that done and doing their jobs. And so far, this team has been doing their job. You've seen it in these sets, and it has been such an exciting game. Rost to Asma unable to get the point, and we're going to get a net foul, so Broncos will take the first point of set number 4. Serving is Charlie Swanson of the Broncos. And so Broncos up 1-0 on the PCA scoreboard. Swanson prepared. She has been one of the more consistent servers for the Broncos. And that's going to be Ross setting it up for Tatiana Baker-Lehman. And unlucky bump by Marble. That's going to be a point for Mesabi East, already right into the back and forth between these two teams. They have been so consistent. And so now quick substitution. The powerhouse Marta Forsleen comes into the game. Serving is Asma for the Giants. Swanson sets it up. That's Chesley Skrine. Running start. No good though. Rost keeping it in play. And that's Heikala sending it over the net. Kokesh to Swanson, across to Basaraba, trying to go for the back corner. Received by Asma, kept in play by Heikala, and Forsleen sends it over the net. Swanson over to Skrine. Skrine with the kill, and that's going to go into the stands, and a point for the Broncos by Chesney Skrine. 2-1 lead on the PCA scoreboard thanks to Chesney Skrine's kill. Only her third, believe it or not, but she is a powerhouse for the Broncos in that front row, and she has been swinging at that thing. Basaraba with the serve for the Broncos, up by 1. Ross sets it up. That's Forsleen. Goes for a light touch and gets it in play. That's a point for Mesabi East, now tied on the PCA scoreboard thanks to Marta Forsleen. She is in the double digits for kills, by the way, with 10 of them. Molly House subbed into the game for the Broncos. Number 15 back to serve for Industrial Falls is number 6, Tatiana Baker-Lehman. She sends a serve to Mara Buller in the back row. Swanson sets it up. That's Chesley Skrine, and she sends it over the back net. And Mesabi East gets the lead, not back net, back line. And that Mesabi East is going to get the lead now, 3-2 on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos up 2-1 in sets. Tatiana Baker-Lehman sends it to Neva Kokesh. Swanson sets it up. That's Kokesh again, but Kokesh is just going to have to bump it. She looked like she wanted to try and set something up. And that's number 14, Lainey Rost. She did a move like this similarly earlier in the game. She has an ace, and you know what? I'm going to give that point to her. Lainey Ross able to get a 4-2 lead for Mesabi East on the PCA scoreboard. Baker Lehman serves it. Chesney Scrine with the kill, and off of a hand of a giant, and that's a point for the Broncos, thanks to Chesney Scrine, who has woken up with a fury today. I think she woke up on the wrong side of the bed, and she needs to take that frustration out. So Broncos now down by 1. It is 4-3. Mesabi East leads on the PCA scoreboard. Chesney Scrine with the serve. Beeline straight to Faith Manu. 50-50 ball. Neva Kokesh tried to get the over, and they said that she reached too far over the net, so they're going to give the point to Mesabi East. So they are going to have a 5-3 lead. Broncos a little upset about that call by the judge, but nothing they can do about it. So 5-3 lead for Mesabi East. Served by Ross Swanson to Kokesh. Kokesh lob over the net. Ross sets it out. This is going to be Molly House with the kill, and that's going to be off the hand of Basaraba, and a point for Mesabi East. Now 6-3 on the PCA scoreboard, thanks to Molly House's kill. She has 4 of them tonight. And so far, this is the biggest lead for Mesabi East, is a 3-point lead. Broncos, their biggest lead was a 9-point lead, and that led to a huge comeback by Mesabi East in the second set to come away with a 27-25 win and tie it up on the set scoreboard. Broncos now lead by 1 after a thrilling 25-23 win in set number 3 to put them 1 win away from taking the match. Quick discussion, and they are asking about the score. It is 6-3. Yes, I was correct. I know I am. Sorry, I got to stop being so cocky. Lainey Rost with the serve for Mesabi East. Cami Cronin is going to send it over, and that goes out of bounds, so that's a point for Mesabi East. They have a 7-3 lead now. Broncos struggling early in set number 4. Rost goes back to serve for Mesabi East. They are wanting to force that 5th set, but that's not going to be any good if the serve hits the net. Broncos get the point, 7-4 on the PCA scoreboard. Quick substitution. Cameron Rasmussen comes into the game for the front line. Charlie Swanson comes out of the game. Peyton Grasshorn serves for the Broncos, sends it to the back row. That's Honkala to Rost, over to Molly House. Dive by Rasmussen. Almost kept in play by Peyton Grasshorn. For a second, looked like she might have gone into the scoring table. She is okay. 8-4. Lead for Mesabi East. Back to serve is number 18, Faith Manu. The libero for Mesabi East. Broncos keeps it in play. Dive by Peyton Grasshorn to keep it up in the air. Molly House is going to go for a kill, but that's off the net. That's a point for the Broncos now. 8-5 on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos trying to start a rally here after going down early. And so Neva Kokesh is going to be the one hoping to start the rally for International Falls. Off the top of the net, dive by Honkala. Ross sets it up into the air, and that's going to be off the hand. Asama able to send it over and get the point and not allow the Broncos to get any kind of momentum shift in their services. Quick substitution. Number 6, Tatiana Baker-Lehman comes into the game for the front row, and coming in to serve is number 5, Katie House. Mesabi East leads by 4, 9-5 on the PCA scoreboard. That's a Dolly Parton song that I love a lot. I know almost all the lyrics to it. Almost. Katie House gets an ace. That is her first ace of the night. Now it is 10-5 lead for Mesabi East on the PCA scoreboard. Katie House, serve number 2 of set number 4. She sends it to the back row. That's Basaraba with the hit. Grasshorn over to Cronin. That's Ross, and that's going to be a point for the Broncos. It is now 10-6 on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos down by 4. They're going to send Cami Cronin to the back line to serve. Cami Cronin getting a kill, her first of the night, believe it or not. Cronin with the serve, received. That's going to be number 5, Katie House, but she gets it off the net. So that's going to be gave the point to the wrong team. A point for the Broncos, 10-7. Broncos starting to rally now. 10-7. Cami Cronin serves it. That's going to be to House. And Heikela keeps it in play. And Ross is going to have to be the one to send it over. Scrine over to Grasshorn. This is Rasmussen with an attempt off the tip of a blocker and onto the hardwood. That's a Bronco point thanks to Cameron Rasmussen, the front liner for the Broncos. She has a couple of kills under her belt in today's contest. Cami Cronin getting ready to serve again for International Falls. 10-8. Broncos down by 2 on the PCA scoreboard. Rasmussen over to Grasshorn, sends it to Skrine. Skrine off the blockers, but kept in play by Heikkila, and great effort by Rost, but didn't want to. Don't blame her for not fully committing to the dive because she would have gone into the stands, and that definitely would not have been a good thing there. So Broncos get the point. Cami Cronin with the serve, received by House, and that's an ace for the Broncos. Number 5, Cami Cronin. She is at 4 now in today's game, and we are tied game 10 all on the PCA scoreboard. Cami Cronin gets another one. That's 2 aces back-to-back for Cami Cronin to get an 11-10 lead on the PCA scoreboard, and we're going to get a timeout called by Mesabi East. Coach Hinderman trying to get her team locked in once more, and this timeout is brought to you by Service Master of International Falls. For home professionally cleaned all year round, call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Toddy Gosh, going to take great care of you.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
Transportation.
Welcome back to the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box on Lakes Country 104.1 KSEM, and also live on yourliveevent.com. And start your voyage at the Rainy River campus. Your future awaits you right here in your own backyard. Rainy River, Minnesota North College, 218-598-9300. Cami Cronin the serve, 2 aces back-to-back, trying to make it 3, no good. Ross sets it up. That's Tatiana Baker-Lehman with an attempt, no good. Chesney Skrine sets it up. That's Rasmussen off the net. Heikkila sends it over, and Neva Kokesh diving sends it back over the net, keeping it in play. Heikkila with an attempt that goes out of bounds, and for a second it looked like it almost was off the hands of Cronin, and she was thinking like, oh my gosh, thank goodness I didn't hit that. 12-10 now. Broncos lead on the PCA scoreboard. Cronin sends it, and that's going to be out of bounds, and that's going to be a point for Mesabi East. 12-11 on the PCA scoreboard. Mara Bowler comes into the game, subbed in for Cami Cronin. Also coming into the game, Katie House. Serving is Reese Heikkila. Kokesh with the receive. Grasshorn to Skrine off the top of the net. Dive. And Mesabi East unable to keep it in play. That's going to be Chesney Skrine woken up here. Decided to bounce it off of the top of the net in order to get that kill. And Broncos are now up 13-11 with Charlie Swanson back behind the line to serve for International Falls. And so Swanson serve to Katie House. Ross sets it up. That's Tatiana Baker-Lehman, blocked, but she gets it back in play. House over to Swanson to Skrine, and that's Basaraba standing attempt. House to Ross. She sets it up. This time it's Asama. Light touch. Asama in between all the Broncos to get the point. Asama very consistent from Mesabi East here. She has 4 kills tonight, 13-12 on the PCA scoreboard. It's Asma who's also going to go back to serve for Mesabi East. More bowler to Swanson, over to Basaraba, off the top tip of a block. Rost over to Tatiana Baker-Lehman, and she gets the kill. Baker-Lehman getting the point to tie it up now, 13 all on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos and Giants. Set number 4, Giants needing a win in this 4th set. Swanson sets it up. That's Grasshorn off the top of the net. Over to Heikkila. Rost over to Baker-Lehman. Sends it over. That's Kokesh receives. Swanson to Basaraba. Received by Asama. Rost back to Baker-Lehman. And that's going to be in the corner and inbounds. That is a point for Mesabi East, who takes the lead 14-13 on the PCA scoreboard. Thanks to Tatiana Baker-Lehman, who threaded the needle. She has 6, I count. My count may or may not be off. Skrine blocked. Almost able to get her own save, but that's going to be a double hit by Skrine to take a 15-13 lead for Mesabi East now on the PCA scoreboard. Asama to serve once again. Sends it, and that's off the net, though. So Broncos get the point, and they get it right back, 15-14 on the PCA scoreboard. And quick update, Minnesota Twins are leading in the bottom of the 7th inning, 3-0. Basaraba with the serve to Faith Manu, and that goes out of bounds. So Broncos now tie it up 15-all on the PCA scoreboard. Basaraba to serve again after her ace, her third of the night. Basaraba sends it, but that's going to be out of bounds. So point for Mesabi East, 16-15. Mesabi East leads by 1. Quick substitution. Molly House in, Katie House out. Back to serve, number 6, Tatiana Baker-Lehman with a 1-point lead. He is one of the stars for the team today. Mara Buller with the receive to Swanson. Kokesh able to send it back over the net. Tatiana Baker-Lehman to Heikala to Faith Manu. Basaraba and whiffing on the attempt over the net. Swanson unable to get a hand on it. That's a point for Mesabi East, 17-15 on the PCA scoreboard. Tatiana Baker-Lehman hoping to keep the rally going for Mesabi East. They have been the one who has been more consistently leading in this set. And Mara Bowler smartly dodging out of the way. That's going to be a point for the Broncos as that goes out of bounds on the service era. Cami Cronin comes into the game, subbed in for Mara Bowler. Also coming in is Mika Honkala. And Grasshorn sending it over the back line. That's a point for Mesabi East. They say that nobody from Mesabi touched it, so that's a point. And now it's 18-16 on the PCA scoreboard. And it's number 14, Rost, back to serve for Mesabi East. The Giants able to get it over, bounce off the top of the net. Neva Kokesh not trying anything fancy, he just sends it over. And that's Molly House sending it across. And they say it was out of bounds. It looked to me like it might have been on the line, but they say it was out of bounds. So that's a Bronco point, 17-18 on the PCA scoreboard. Serving is number 4, Peyton Grasshorn, trying to start a rally for her team. And almost going to get the ace. Dive by Ross, able to keep it in play. House, Basaraba, bounce out the top of the net by Forsleen. Grasshorn to Cronin, sends it over. Forsleen to Ross, sets it up. That's Heikala, who just sets it over. Mara Bohr, Grasshorn sets up. This is Rasmussen with a palm fist of death. Ross to House, and somehow Broncos keeping it in play, but that's going to be 4 hits, unable to get it over the net in 3, so that's a point and a 2-point lead for Mesabi East. Broncos down by 2, needing to stop Mesabi East from completing a comeback and set it into a 5th set. Faith Manu to serve, the libero for Mesabi East, 19-17 on the PCA scoreboard. Mara Buller receives, Grasshorn to Cronin, no good. Rost to Manu to Heikala. Received by Basaraba. Grasshorn to Rasmussen. Off the blockers and on the hardwood. That's a Bronco point. Thanks to Cameron Rasmussen of the International Falls Broncos. Neva Kokesh back to serve for International Falls. Down by 1 on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos needing to rally because they haven't been leading except for they had like 1 lead in this 4th set. And now the game is tied. Mesabi East unable to get it over the net. 19-all on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos climbing back. Neva Kokesh with the serve for International Falls. She sends it to Honkala. Rost sets it up. This is Osma with a running start. Received by Grasshorn, Cronin, and 50-50 ball off the head of Cronin, and they're not going to say it was a double hit. I thought they might have. Ross sets it up. That's Osma again. Blocked by the Broncos. Cronin keeps it in bounds, and Basaraba miscommunicate. Oh, they're going to say a net violation by Neva Kokesh, and that's going to take away what could have been a miraculous point for the Broncos, up 20-19 now on the PCA scoreboard. And some boos coming from the Broncos student section. Quick substitution. Katie House subbed in for Molly House. Katie House is going to go back to serve for Mesabi East with a 1-point lead. They need to send this into a 5th set in order to have a win in her possibilities. Rasmussen to send it over, and that's on the line. That's a Bronco point to tie it up. Cameron Rasmussen coming in clutch for the Broncos. Laser eye right there. Excuse me, dead eye. And Cameron Rasmussen, she has 4. I count 6, so either 4 or 6. Heikkila off the blockers, and that's Heikkila with a point for Mesabi East. She's been a little dormant in this game. A lot of her attempts have been received by the Broncos, so that's her getting the hardwood and getting the lead 21-20. Serve by Heikkila. Grasshorn sets it up. Chesney Scrine out the top of the net. Dive by Heikkila. Asma to Tatiana Baker-Lehman. Received by Grasshorn. Chesney Scrine sets it up. That's Basaraba off the net. Dive again this time by Katie House. Grasshorn to Scrine, sets up. This is going to be Basaraba, but unable to get it over the net. Now it's going to be a 22-20 lead on the PCA scoreboard for Mesabi East. The Giants getting ready to try and close out set number 4 and send it into sudden death set number 5. Heikkila with the serve. She sends it to the back row. Neva Kokesh receives. Grasshorn to Scrine. Scrine gets it in play with the kill, getting it past the blockers. 21-22, Broncos down by 1 point, and they're going to get their ace into the game. This is number 16, Charlie Swanson, who's going to go back to serve for International Falls, down by 1. Charlie Swanson, strong server for International Falls. She has 4 aces tonight. Swanson with the serve, received by the Broncos. Swanson able to get it. Basaraba gets the kill, and now it's tied once again for like the 10th time in this set alone. We have a tied game. Lauren Basaraba getting the point to put the Broncos in position to win this in 4 sets. Swanson to serve, and we're going to get a timeout called by Mesabi East. That is the first timeout, and so this timeout is brought to you by Service Master of International Falls. For a home professionally cleaned all year round. Call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd Aggression going to take great care of you. And again, thank you Northland Counseling Center for coming out to tonight's game for Mental Health Awareness Night. Of course, it is something that I hold very dear to my heart. It is something that I think is very important to think about. Another reminder, mental health condition affects nearly 1 in 5 adults in the United States, and among young adults ages 18 to 25, the prevalence is even higher at around 36%. And half of mental health disorders usually develop around the age of 14. And common mental health conditions include depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, schizophrenia, and substance use disorders. And there are over 200 different types of mental illness. And mental health conditions can significantly impact daily life, work, relationships, and overall well-being. And they are the leading cause of disability and healthcare costs. And suicide is the 3rd leading cause of death among young adults ages 15 to 24, which is why it's so important to have this awareness night. Ross to set it up. Tatiana Baker-Lehman. Broncos unable to keep it in play. Mesabi East back in the lead after the timeout, trying to reset themselves. And now it's going to be on the shoulders of number 7, Finley Asama, to seal this away. Mara Buller with the receive. Neva Kokesh. Peyton Grasshorn sends it back over the net, but that goes out of bounds. And now we have set point right here, 24-22. Broncos down by 2. Mesabi East knocking on the door of a 5th set. And that's going to be a timeout called by Coach Aaron Hall of the International Falls Broncos. Again, timeout brought to you by Service Master of International Falls. We're live from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box on Lakes Country, 104.1, KSTM, and YourLiveEvent.com. Start your voyage at the Rainy River campus. Your future awaits you right here in your own backyard. Rainy River, Minnesota North College, 218-598-9300. Talking a little bit more about Mental Health Awareness Night and the Spike Stigma, which is the theme for tonight. Not sticking to stigma, that's hockey season. Something to know is that despite their prevalence, mental health conditions are often stigmatized, and this stigma can prevent people from seeking the help and accessing treatment that they need. And so Broncos getting ready to face what is set point. Again, this is on the shoulders of Finley Asama of Mesabi East to send this into a 5th set and not let the Broncos come away with a 4th set win. Asama with the serve, received by Kokesh. Swanson's going to set it up. This is Grasshorn trying to send it. Grasshorn gets the point! Ladies and gentlemen, Broncos could have an opportunity here, but they need to have 2 perfect serves from Basaraba to take the lead and 4 perfect serves to take the win. Lauren Basaraba, 23-24. Broncos Kokesh, that's going to be on the line, and that's going to be a point, and that point means that we are going into set number 5, sudden death, ladies and gentlemen. What a set that was. Oh my gosh, another 25-23 score here. Broncos sadly lose set number 4, tying it up now, and so we're going to get ready for set number 5 here. You are listening and watching on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM and on yourliveevent.com from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College press box.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Hi, this is Rob from Falls Lumber Company. I'm new to the company, though not to the industry. If you're looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, stop in and see me in the Design Center. I can help you pick out the perfect cabinets or countertops from brands such as Crystal Cabinets, Cambria, Corian, and Silestone. If you're in need of flooring, we have options including luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, engineered hardwood, and tile. Stop into the Design Center to see me anytime. When you're looking to build or remodel, come to the experts at Falls Lumber Company, 201 4th Street in International Falls.
Employees at Packaging Corporation of America have been producing quality paper for over a century. We understand our responsibility to the community, and we're honored to support the many needs and events occurring in the borderland. From providing donations to local schools and events, to supporting organizations meeting physical needs in our community, Packaging Corporation of America does more than make paper. We make a difference.
The unique strengths of Rainy River lie in the fact that you're going to be supported by faculty and staff, and you're going to be supported by the community.
You know, all the professors by name, they all know you by name. We're not just a number, like we actually have a face to the name, which is honestly pretty good. I like it. I'm known, everybody else is known in the school. It makes it feel more comfortable to be here, especially being so far away from home.
Welcome back on yourliveevent.com. I forgot to reset my score here. Hey, it's sudden death, ladies and gentlemen. Set number 5. First to 15 points in this one. Winner takes all. Broncos and Giants. It is 2-2 right now. Mesabi East is going to be the first to serve. They're going to put it on the shoulders of Finley Osimo to get a strong start for the team here in set number 5. And that's going to be received by Kokesh. Grasshorn blocked. Kept in play by Basarab of Mara Buller over to Grasshorn, who gets it over the net. Now it's Heikala to Ross. Sets it up. This is Tatiana Baker-Lehman. And that's going to be a point for the Broncos after it gets off the net. Broncos get the early lead here in set number 5. Again, this is winner takes all. First to 15, Basarab with the serve for the Broncos, received by Mesabi East. Set up, that's number 16, Forsling. And that's going to be no good for the Bronco attempt. Blocked by Forsling, or no, blocked by the Broncos. Goes out of bounds. Now we're tied 1-1. Serving is Tatiana Baker-Lehman. She sends it to Kokesh. Swanson's going to set it up. This is Kokesh again. Blocked, though, but that goes out of bounds. Broncos back in the lead, 2-1 on the PCA scoreboard. This has been such an exciting matchup between these two teams, and so I do not want it to end. But obviously, it's going to have to end with one of these teams coming out as the winner. Chesley Skrine to serve for the Broncos. She's going to send it to Faith Manu. Set up Rost to Forsling. Off the dome of Charlie Swanson, and that's a point for Mesabi East. Tied 2-2. Marta Forsling, she has been a driving force for this Mesabi East team. She has double-digit kills right now. Rost with the serve. Marbola receives. Swanson sets it up. This is going to be Peyton Grasshorn, but that goes out of bounds. That's a point for Mesabi East. They are now the ones in the lead by 1. 13-2 on the PCA scoreboard. Ross to serve once again. She has numerous assists in today's contest. but that's going to go out of bounds. So that's a point for the Broncos. Tied again, 3-all. This has been the name of the game throughout this entirety of the game. Is just back and forth between these two teams. Neither one of them wanting to give up an inch. Neither one of them wanting to give up a loss. This is Grasshorn to serve for the Broncos after the substitution, bringing in Rasmussen. Diving, and Mesabi East unable to send it over. That's Forsleen, but I think they're going to say that is a net violation against Mesabi East, so Broncos get a point. It is now 4-3 Bronco lead, and speaking of 4, number 4, Peyton Grasshorn to serve for International Falls. That's Forsleen, sets it up. Heikla unable to go for the kill, so she's just going to send it over. Cronin sets it up. That's Rasmussen. That's received by Rost. Now it's Faith Manu to House, Molly House. Mara Buller to Grasshorn. She sets it up. That's Neva Kokish, but that's blocked. And you guessed it, Marta Forsleen with the block, tying the game up 4-all on the PCA scoreboard. Marta Forsleen has been a force for this Giants team as the driving lead blocker in the front line. Faith Manu to serve for Mesabi East, tied 4-all. Neva Kokish, though, dive by Honkala, and that's going to be Neva Kokish getting a kill to get the Broncos back up 5-4 on the PCA scoreboard, and it's also going to be Kokish who's going to be going for the serve. She is back behind the line. She has 6 total serves in kills in today's contest. Asma, though, trying to have an answer. No good, received by Buller. This is Basaraba sending it. Dive by Honkala. Asma sends it over. Now it's going to be Grasshorn setting up. Rasmussen with the attempt, trying to lob it towards the back corner, received by Manu. And now Mesabi East, miscommunication. A high bump by Ross right in the middle of her teammates. No one just could figure out who was going to go for it. Broncos up by 2 now, 6-4 on the PCA scoreboard. And number 2 is the one serving for International Falls. Running start. If he receive and 50-50 at Rasmussen. Smart job, making sure she was away from the net. Broncos up by 3 as Mesabi East calls a timeout. Their first of 2 timeouts here in set number 5, down by 3 on the PCA scoreboard. And so, hey, this is brought to you by Lakes Country, 104.1 KSTM, and YourLiveEvent.com. We're listening from and watching from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College press box. An exciting contest that we have here today. Broncos up by 3 points. But do not count out Mesabi East. There has been numerous occasions throughout this game where Mesabi East has been down by 4 points, even 9 points, and they came out with a win, or they came close to coming away with a win in the comeback. And what an amazing match this has been. Both teams wanting to get the win here. Both teams determined. Here's the thing. It is hot. It is weirdly humid inside of this gym. It's a little sticky. Obviously, that's going to make you feel uncomfortable, but these players are clearly showing mental fortitude as Neva Kokish serves for the Broncos. Received by Faith Manu. Rost over to Asma. Asma off the net. Rasmussen keeps it in play. Basaraba to Grasshorn. She sends it over. That's Heikala to Rost over to Asma. Asma with the kill and the point for Mesabi East. And she is one of the leaders for this team. She has 5 of them today. As quick substitution, Molly House comes out of the game. Katie House goes to the back line to serve for Mesabi East. Broncos lead 7-5 on the PCA scoreboard. House with the serve. That's to Kokish to Grasshorn. Sets it up. And Cronin blocked, but Kokish able to keep it in play. Cronin sends it over the net. Now Faith Manu to Rost, over to Tatiana Baker-Lehman. Broncos maybe able to keep it in play. They do. Neva Kokish sends it over. This is still going on. This point is still up in the air. And now Basaraba to Cronin. Back to Basaraba. They send it over the net. And that's going to be a point for the Broncos thanks to Lauren Basaraba. They are now up 8-5 on the PCA scoreboard thanks to Lauren Basaraba. It was Faith Manu trying to keep it in play, reaching with one hand, but that ended up being an unlucky bounce. Cami Cronin back behind the line to serve for the Broncos. Dig by Katie House. Katie House to also be the one to send it over the net. Grasshorn sets it up. This is going to go to Skrine. Blocked, though. That's number 7, Asama, and number 6, Baker Lehman, getting in on the block, and now it's 8-6. Broncos still up by 2, but Mesabi is trying to rally. Haikala goes back to serve for the Giants. Down by 2 on the PCA scoreboard. This is set number 5. All or nothing here. Grasshorn to Skrine. Skrine blocked, though. Skrine gets it up in the air. Basaraba, and Grasshorn sends it over the net now. Rost sets it up. This is Baker Lehman. She tried to get it over the net, but unfortunately it went straight up in the air and didn't have a trajectory. And so that unfortunate touch by Baker Lehman leads to a Bronco point, up by 3, 9-6. They send number 16, Charlie Swanson, back to serve. Charlie Swanson to serve for the Broncos. Jim is quiet, trying to let her focus. Rost sets it up. This goes to Asama. Asama with the touch. That's received by Bowler. Now it's set up. Basaraba goes towards the back row. Off the hands. Mesabi sets it up in the air. Blocked by Skrine. They send it over now. Finally, Broncos able to set something up. Swanson to Skrine. Skrine blocked and in play. That's a Bronco point by Chesney Skrine. Now 10-6 on the PCA scoreboard. Skrine, give her 7. Lucky number 7 right there for Chesney Skrine. Charlie Swanson with the serve for the Broncos. Swanson. Faith Manu with the receive. Rost to Baker Lehman, blocked by the Broncos. They stay able to get it over the net. Chesney Skrine to Basaraba, but that's off the net. Point for Mesabi East now. 3-point game, 10-7 on the PCA score. They're going to bring in the powerhouse number 16, Marta Forsleen, to the front line, and they're going to send number 7, Finley Asama, to the back line to serve. 7 points, but that goes over the back line. Broncos 4 points away from getting this win today, 11-7. Lauren Basaraba to serve for International Falls. You're listening on Lakes Country 104.1 and on yourliveevent.com. Basaraba with the serve. That's to Molly. Katie House goes over the net and onto the Broncos side. Swanson to Kokesh. Kokesh sends it across the net. Dig by Baker Lehman, and Mesabi East unable to keep it in bounds. That was Haikala trying to send it over. Broncos now up by 5, and we are going to get a timeout called by Mesabi East. And I got to say, it has been 5 sets of complete chaos and tight matches. And so you got to think, these players have got to be exhausted right now. Mesabi East, no more timeouts left, though. This last timeout for Mesabi East in today's game is brought to you by Service Master of International Falls. For a home professionally cleaned all year round, call Service Master at 218-283-4475. Todd and Gresh are going to take great care of you. Broncos still have 2 timeouts left. So if they start to get a little discombobulated and start to give up this late lead that they have in set number 5, then Coach Hall has an opportunity to use both of those timeouts in order to try and get her team refocused and recombobulated. Recombobulate. Is that a word? Someone text me or send a message to me. Let me know if that's a word. Timeout almost over here. What a game this has been. I almost have a headache from all the yelling and all the excitement I've been going through right now. So many emotions for me throughout this game. It has been a good one. Lauren Basaraba to serve for the Broncos. She sends it to number 12, Haikala. That's Ross, sets it up. That's Forsleen, sends it over. Swanson to Skrine, sends it across to Grasshorn. Blocked though by Forsleen. Forsleen gets the point. Mesabi is back in it now, down by 4. Similar situation to plenty of other moments throughout this game. That's Forsleen once again getting a point for Mesabi East. Back to serve, number 6, Tatiana Baker Lehman. 12-8 on the PCA scoreboard. Baker Lehman sends it to Basaraba. Swanson sets it up. This is Chesney Skrine trying to end it. And that could be Chesney Skrine getting the point. Broncos up 13-8 on the PCA scoreboard. Chesney Skrine, slow start in the game, but she has woken up in these later sets to absolutely crush it right now, leading her team in kills. And what a night she has been having. But unfortunately, the serve is going to go out of bounds. I feel like I jinxed it for Chesney because she was the one who served it. 13-9 on the PCA scoreboard. Broncos 2 points away from winning set number 5. It's Rost with the serve for Mesabi East. Set up, that's going to be Grasshorn, but that goes over the back line. 13-10. big lead that the Broncos cannot give up. They are up by 3 now with Ross serving. Ross trying to catch fire here late in set number 5. Ross sends it. That's Basaraba with the receive. Swanson over to Kokesh. She's going to send it over. Kokesh gets the point just out of reach of Manu and Honkala. And so Broncos now, this is match point right here. 14-10 on the PCA scoreboard. This is winner takes all. They're going to put it in the hands of Grasshorn. Peyton Grasshorn with the match point for the Broncos. Coming back from injury, missing out on Rock Ridge. She's going to send it over, received by Manu. Ross sets it up. That's Molly House trying to end things. Brasaraba to Grasshorn. Kokesh sends it across. Kokesh with the point. Broncos win it in 5. What a thriller of a match for the International Falls Broncos that take it in 5 sets. Final score here in set number 5, 15-10 on the PCA scoreboard. Your International Falls Broncos getting the win today here at home. And what a game played by International Falls. Neva Kokesh, the one to seal the deal here. What a play indeed for the Broncos. Coach Hall is excited for her team. She, trying to keep them, contained and everything. But what a game played by these two teams. What a game indeed. Oh my gosh, I need to take a break here. Hey, we're going to get ready for our post-game show. You're listening and watching on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM and on yourliveevent.com.
Fall is a busy season for local businesses. New projects, fresh goals, and big ideas. At TrueStar, we understand what it takes to grow something real because we're right here with you. I'm Ryan Tamevi with TrueStar. Whether you're expanding your shop, upgrading equipment, or planning ahead, we're here to help you move forward with a business loan that fits. TrueStar Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Follow us on social media.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Hi, this is Rob from Falls Lumber Company. I'm new to the company, though not to the industry. If you're looking to remodel your kitchen or bathroom, stop in and see me in the Design Center. I can help you pick out the perfect cabinets or countertops from brands such as Crystal Cabinets, Cambria, Corian, and Silestone. If you're in need of flooring, we have options including luxury vinyl plank, hardwood, engineered hardwood, and tile. Stop into the Design Center to see me anytime. When you're looking to build or remodel, come to the experts at Falls Lumber Company, 201 4th Street in International Falls.
Employees at Packaging Corporation of America have been producing quality paper for over a century. We understand our responsibility to the community, and we're honored to support the many needs and events occurring in the borderland. From providing donations to local schools and events, to supporting organizations meeting physical needs in our community, Packaging Corporation of America does more than make paper. We make a difference.
The unique strengths of Rainy River lie in the fact that you're going to be supported by faculty and staff, and you're going to be supported by the community.
All the professors by name, they all know you by name. We're not just a number, like we actually have a face to the name, which is honestly pretty good. I like it. I'm known, everybody else is known in the school. It makes it feel more comfortable to be here, especially being so far away from home.
Fall is a busy season for local businesses. New projects, fresh goals, and big ideas. At TrueStar, We understand what it takes to grow something real because we're right here with you. I'm Ryan Tamevi with TrueStar. Whether you're expanding your shop, upgrading equipment, or planning ahead, we're here to help you move forward with a business loan that fits. TrueStar Federal Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA. Follow us on social media.
Ready to ride into fall? Hi, this is Tony Skifstrom at Border Bank. Whether it's an ATV for backwoods thrills or a truck built for bonfire season, Border Bank makes it easy to gear up with a consumer loan that fits your lifestyle. Fast decisions, competitive rates, hometown service that goes the extra mile. So don't just rake leaves, run them over. Apply today at borderbank.com or come visit with me at the bank. Border Bank, customer first, community focused. Member FDIC.
At Enbridge, we're focused on relationships. 23 Canadian First Nation and Métis communities now own an equity stake in Enbridge Athabasca Pipelines. In Minnesota, Enbridge has spent $450 million and counting with Native-owned companies and in wages to tribal members working on Line 3. Every day brings new collaborations, partnerships, and possibilities. Learn more at Enbridge.com.
Welcome back to the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box on Lakes Country, 104.1 KSDM. 5-set thriller. You guys just had to get my blood pressure up, didn't you? Joining me are two players of the game for today, Chesney Scrine and Peyton Grassman of the Broncos volleyball team. First of all, you guys are probably exhausted after that.
Yes, yeah. Very exhausted.
Yes.
I mean, they kept coming back, and so what do you think? And whenever like they keep having those rallies, and you're thinking like, oh man, we got to hold on to this lead. like what is mainly going through your head during those rallies and trying to like get refocused and recalibrated?
Just regrouping every time the ball goes over the net and just taking a breath and resetting every time.
Using our team word, positive patience.
Yes.
Positive patience. Okay.
Starts with the P, ends in Asians. Positive. It's from J.O.
Well, I did not know that. Okay. And so, Peyton, so coming back, missing out on Rock Ridge, and so big game back from Andre. What was going through your head through a lot of those big rallies where you guys were somehow keeping it in play, leading to a point for you guys?
I think the adrenaline just like took away the pain and just, I don't know, play as hard as I can to the best of my ability.
And Chesney, really, especially in like those later sets where your team was really needing it, you just catching fire and just slamming the ball. Where are you getting a lot of that like confidence in your swing? Are you getting ready to go for an attempt?
From my team, it starts with a pass, and I just think of my teammates. I want to do the best for this team, and we're one big family, so I just got to try my hardest, and that's what I think about.
I gotta say, Mara Buller killing it at libero. A lot of crazy dives and digs out there.
She is fire,
yeah. She can play any position, but we need her at libero, and she's really good at it.
She tries her hardest, and she definitely earns her spot.
And so, obviously, you guys are our two players of the game. Peyton Grassman, I want to give you our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. So many exciting moments. It was so hard to decide which one was my favorite, but many huge dives and digs as well. And so that's why you're Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. Just really keeping your team energized out there. And Chesney Scrine, our Domino's Pizza Player of the Game, meaning you get free Domino's Pizza.
Thank you.
And so now you guys are going to be on the road tomorrow. Originally supposed to be a home game. Now you guys are on the road, so how are you guys trying to get refocused onto the next one now after a game like this one where it goes to 5 sets?
I think we just need to bring what we brought today and just keep doing team bonding and work as a family, and I honestly think that we'll just keep pushing this season, and yeah.
Definitely go home and get some rest tonight. A big game tomorrow because Mesabi East was really close with Ely, so it should be close.
Oh yeah, I'm really excited for that one. And now going away from volleyball, you guys, it's homecoming week. What is it you're most excited about for homecoming?
I'm most excited for just volleyball, honestly. Like, I love having volleyball games on homecoming week because it's honestly just like, it's nerve-wracking, but it's so much fun. And if you just play as a team, then you know you can just slam it.
Right. I love having a big crowd on homecoming week. That's definitely, it brings the energy.
Well, again, congratulations, you guys, on being our player of the game, or players of the game. And hey, best of luck as the week goes on and as the season goes on. I'm really excited for these upcoming games for homecoming.
Yeah.
And any final words of encouragement to show up to those games? Shout outs you want to give?
Positive patience.
All right, thank you guys again for joining me. And again, best of luck. Rest well. I mean, maybe don't miss your alarm to wake up for school.
Yeah.
That's all I can say. Right. But yeah, thank you guys again for joining me. Congratulations again on the big win.
Thank you.
And this has been our post-game show. Broncos win it in 5 sets. First winning set number 1, 26-24. Mesabi East won set 2, 27-25, after a huge 9-point comeback. And then Broncos would take set number 3, 25-23, before Mesabi East tied it up 25-23. But send it into the 5th and final set, where the Broncos come away with a huge 15-10 win in that game. And those were your 2 Enbridge Energy Player of the Game and the Domino's Pizza Player of the Game. Domino's Pizza, hey, if you're looking for a quick, easy, and delicious dinner, then look no further than your local Domino's. With more than just pizza, Domino's is the perfect carryout after the game, or you can have it delivered. Great deals are always happening at Domino's. 283-3444. Make Domino's your lunch or dinner destination. Today, Chesley Scrina, as our Domino's Pizza Player of the Game, ended up receiving a free Domino's Pizza as a reward. And Peyton Grasshorn gets a free Enbridge t-shirt as our Enbridge Energy Player of the Game. Returning back from injury and having such a great game for the first game of homecoming week. Just great performances from this team. And a special shout out to Mesabi East. They had a really strong performance. Finley Osama, Marta Forsline, 2 of the big ones. Tatiana Baker-Lehman, Lainey Ross, big performances from both sides to lead to this 5-set thriller of a match. And so as I messed up in my interview with Coach Hall before the game, tomorrow's game against Ely is actually going to be on the road at Ely. So don't come to the Falls High School gymnasium for the game. You're going to go to Ely for the game. And this has been Augie Schmidt live on Lakes Country 104.1 KSDM and YourLiveEvent.com from the Rainy River, Minnesota North College Press Box. Thank you to all of our sponsors, and have a safe travel home. I am so tired right now. Have a good night, you guys.